Evening, everyone. Hope we are going well. Bloody in the middle of trying to all sort out my bloody trades as well. Bloody recording a pod before Watchalong is not the ideal scenario. So I'll be with everyone in about 30 seconds. I just want to make sure I've got everything here sorted. So I'm not doing that there. Do that there. Okay, no. Put there. This one, Geelong. Okay, cool. And put him there. Okay, so that's sorted. Alrighty, if anyone's got any desperate question want answered, chuck it at the bottom of the chat and I'll help you there. So Ben says he's got C-Mac, Cozzy, Shees to go, Jagger, Hill and Rankin the forward line. Miller has to go, but do I swing one of those players to fill up my midfield and bring in a forward rook? If the forward rook's on the bench, then yes, I'd bring in a midfielder if you can. I'd be trying to do that. I'm going to be hating Watchalong. I feel prayers that Geelong dominate position, DC to go, Dacos all flounder. Well, yeah, hopefully all three of those guys can go well. Bells, who would you trade in out of Bruin, Impey, Mills? I'd go Impey, I think, out of those three. That's who I'd go for. Okay, he goes there. No. Just getting like my game day squad stuff sorted. I should have done this earlier, but unfortunately too busy. No, won't put him there. Okay, cool. I don't need to worry about too much for that tonight. Alrighty, so that should be done and sorted. So GDS is sorted. So fantasy, if anyone wants to know my trades, I'm not bringing Ashcroft, which is annoying. I'm going Callahan to Darcy Cameron, putting Isaac Rankin into the midfield for a week. And then I'm going Nick Newman to Brad Hill. And obviously I'm looping Hall, Kahan and Banks to cover Miller this week. And obviously still got to keep Ryle Marshall, which is a little bit frustrating. I wish I could trade him out, but unfortunately that's not the case. Cameron into Shannon. Yeah, I'm trading Cameron in. Marshall to Impey and Yulin to Rankin. Yep, tick for me. And who would you field for Miller or Fitzgerald or Herbert? I'd back in Herbert. Out of those two. How good was Impey the 2 weeks back-to-back for Banks, says Ben? No, nicely done, mate. Very nicely done. Shazel, who you prefer to trade in, Hill or Impey? Hill. If you can afford Hill, I would be going for Brad Hill, I think. So, first treatment to Rankin, is it Yulin to Brun or sort Marshall out? I quite like Yulin to Brun. I'd go Yulin to Brun. I'd keep Marshall. I'd rather Marshall on field over Zeke Yulin, I think. I'd back that in. Corey, with the trades you said might loot Reed this week with Durham, and I feel I don't need to loot Wilmot anymore with no Zorko, no Miller and Zorko for me. Yep, no, I like that, Corey. Dawson, Rankin will be great. Cap notch with Berry and Peatling out. Yeah, I've got Dawson captain at the moment for me, so that is what I'm doing there. I'm just double making sure. So everything's sorted out. So who have I got? So in this game tonight, so I've got Josh Dacos in defence. Got Nick Dacos and Baz. I'm not putting the C or VC on either of them. Does this game start at 7:10 or 7 o'clock? It says 7 o'clock, but Collingwood are only just running out now. So that's interesting there. Then Darcy Cameron, obviously, I've got in the rucks. Then I've got DeGoey in the forward line. And I've got no one on the bench that's locked out tonight either. So, yeah, so that's all sorted, ready to go. I'm not looping Nick Dacos. I'm just playing him on field for anyone wanting to know that. Thanks, Bales. Field, all good, Katale. Field Durham or Roma, no loop. I feel like Roma can go bigger, so I'd play Roma, I think. How to rank Bowie as a defender in, says Liam. Don't mind Bowie, Liam. He's been okay. I think he's got back to a little bit more form of late, Jake Bowie. So if we look at it here, like Jake Bowie last few weeks, averaging 91 for the season. Last three, 129, 102, 84 against Geelong. It's pretty good. Tog right up as well, up over 85% 3 weeks in a row. So yeah, don't mind Bowie as a bit of a differential there. Game starts now, Bal says has. Yeah, I know it does, but on Fox Footy, I'm live and Geelong have just run out. So I don't know why they just didn't say the game starts at 7:10. But anyway, Corey Blades, there is no warm-up. They did a short warm-up compared to normal. Okay, there you go. Rowan, players are locked on field for fantasy already, so I assume game's starting now. It says Rum. Yeah, it should be starting in a few minutes' time. Trade Miller with Hulkhan as cover, or trade Hulkhan have Artemis for cover? If you've got no other issues, Lee, I'd trade Miller. Because I read that there was something about he's having scans on a hamstring in the team selection thing the Crows put out. So I don't know if he's got a fresh injury and he's injured his hamstring at training today. I don't know. Or if they just worded it wrong. But, yeah. Will Zorko out affect Ashcroft's ceiling, says Gihu. No, I don't think it will affect his ceiling. I think Carlton will probably affect that more than anything else. But has said, yep, done his hammy at training. So, yeah. Well, I've got to trade Newman and Callahan anyway, so that's fun. So it just means that Wayne Miller's going to have to go for me next week. So that's great. Yeah. I was hoping to get Will Ashcroft in next week, but that's maybe not looking possible unless I go Wayne Miller down to like a Bergman or something like that. So there you go. Dacos on Mullen. We're about to get the game underway. So that'll be a good matchup there. Ed Allen on Baz. So a couple of tags for the two big boys, but here we go. Baz will get the first disposal. We've just got the kick away, but Ed Allen right on his hammer. So that's going to have to be something that we're going to be dealing with tonight. We're going to have to deal with multiple tags, which is going to be very frustrating having to watch, but can't believe I've got Darcy Cameron back in my side. And there you go, Shannon Neal with the mark. So he'll line up for the first goal of the game. Who'd you guys tip in the game tonight? I ended up going for Geelong by 10, but I was tossing and turning between these two for most of the week. So, completely different injury. Should have sees, never says has. Yep, yeah, I know. I agree. It is. Yeah, it's just we all trade Miller in last week for these matchups. It goes well last week, then he more injuries. So. And Shane Neal with the first goal of the game. And it's just been, unfortunately with the Crows, it's been something that they've dealt with all year. They've had guys get injured all year. It's been hamstring after hamstring, calf after calf, soft tissue after soft tissue. It's just been incredibly frustrating. That's why I think there's been some bad Crows performances, along with some other things. But continuity's been a big thing, unfortunately. I had a feeling I should keep Marshall and fade Cameron, so I did Durham to Bailey. Yep, I like that one. That's fine. Darren DeBay is a good trade still anyway, Shannon, so I still like that, even though you faded Cameron. I brought Cameron in because Marshall was at R2. I felt like I needed to get a ruck in. I wanted to get these two good matchups. So I thought I would do that for the trade. Geelong by 10 says Fresh Prince Oz. Yep, so that's what obviously I've done as well. Pies by 20 says Corey. Yeah, so it looks like be a bit split tonight with this matchup here. There's Grind Myers with a kick inside. I thought it was going to be intercepted by Josh Dagos then. There's a handball for Nick, handball from Josh. So a couple of touches there. Ed Allen's still with Baz. So that looks like it's going to be pretty hard all night, along with the Mullen on Dacos tag. Trading Gould, not Ashcroft, says Lee. Oh, geez, that's a real tough one, Lee. There's a tackle for Nick Dacos. Oh, who would I trade in out of those two? Well, if money is no issue, I still think I want... there's a tackle for Darcy Cameron. I feel like I'd want Ashcroft because I think he's now the fourth mid. I'd put him as the fourth midfielder behind obviously the three we've talked about. Ollie Henry, that's behind. Goulden is great value. And he's got the Saints this week, which could there be some +6 on the outside for him this week, which I like. Yeah, it's a tough one. It depends does that money help you next week? So I like both. There's a free kick for DeGoey. That's not advantage. I'm sorry. This advantage is what they got to fix. Like, how can a player stop and then continue and go, okay, I'm going to take the advantage? I don't get it. So DeGoey started forward. See, I'm concerned about DeGoey tonight. I think being sick all week, there's a bloody chance that he just sits forward for a lot of the game and has a poor one. I hope not, but that's the worry. There's a free kick for Blitzarves there. I feel like this could be a bad round. I've just had a feeling, this is not going to be an exciting round for fantasy. I don't think there's going to be a lot of poor scores. Obviously, people are dealing with multiple bullets. So I've got the 3 this week. I've got Miller, Callahan, and Newman. At least I've got Hulkan and Banks as looping as cover, so it's decent. But there's going to be people out there who's got like a Kai Anand as cover. So, yeah. Huge for me now, my rank, no Miller and Zorko. Nicely done, Corey. And hey, I'm not even going to say kissed, right? Because if you dodged some bullets this year, then good. Congrats, because this year's been full of bullets. So congrats if you can dodge a bullet or two, because that's really what you need. There's Nick Dacos with another handball. Darcy Cameron handball there as well. Nick Dacos another handball there. Going to give it back to Nick. Nick's going to get another handball there. Yeah, so a few handballs in there for Nick Dacos. Nick, I think Nick's still going to get to an okay score. I just didn't do the VC, obviously, with the tag. His bad kick to Josh. Don't think Josh got a disposal away there. There's Tanner Brun for any one of those that brought him in this way. I didn't mind that as an in this week. I think I could have done Tanner Brun and Will Ashcroft as ins, but I just thought Hill and Darcy Cameron was the better play. Here's Tanner Brun again with another kick. So the Collingwood's event seems very open at the moment. Seems like Geelong got a lot of space to work into. It's not a good kick from Dempsey. Oh, Wiltshire nearly took the mark. DeGoey's free for a +6. Here's DeGoey. If he can get some +6s to go tonight, that would be ideal for his score. Just wonder what that roll's going to look like. He only had I think he only had 3 or 4 CBAs last week anyway, so it's not like he had a massive CBA mid-roll last couple of weeks. It has been dropping. Here's DeGoey's free again, but then gone longer to a 2-on-2. That makes a lot of sense. Ooh. No, I thought that was good. Oh, no, hang on. It might bounce to Collingwood's favour. I thought that was going to bounce to Geelong, but then back to Collingwood again. There's a tail for Grind Myers. Are you in finals for your comp in fantasy, Riley? Yes, I'm in finals for the Content Creators Cup. Obviously, I won last week, so I'm through to a prelim. But I didn't win in my hat. I'm not in finals in my Hat Chat League 6, which I take quite seriously, which I'm really disappointed about. Lost my last 4 games post-buys, and 2 of them were by less than 20 points. Even just 1 win would have got me in. I missed out by points scored. There's a handball for Josh. This will be a kick for Josh as well. I think Josh will go well tonight. He's one that I was quietly confident will go well tonight. Seems like a good match. He's had a good record against Geelong as well recently, Josh Dacos, so hopefully he can put up a good score. But yeah, so missed out on points scored for, which is disappointing. I'm in my Cash League finals as well, up against Jake, funny enough, from Hat Chat in that one, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Feels like, and Riley, you in your finals, that's the question. You in your finals for your leagues as well? Rowan, feels like there's barely a top 6 event everywhere. Won't have any at this point. Yeah, it's really only Naz, right? Naz is the only one, right? He's the one that's clearly there, but then the others are sort of like either not getting it done at the moment or getting injured. Is that holding the ball? No. There's Baz with a kick. Oh, was this? No, I thought there was going to be a tackle. Come on, Josh, get the tackle, man. 2 times could have had the tackle there, and he just didn't bother about it. Oh, that's not a good handball at all. Here's Darcy Cameron with a handball. Cameron started right, I think. He's up to 12. He's up to 14 probably with that handball. And McCreary, that'll be out of bounds. Has DDF in the Pies cheer squad. My mate sat right behind him. There you go. Fair enough from Dan. Lockie Robbins. Hey, Bales, what's the best forward or mid for 922k? Already have Rankin, but was thinking Caleb Sarong. I don't like Caleb Sarong's run after this week. Like, the Dogs is good, but after this week, it's not a great couple of weeks. There's Tanner Brun for a +6 coming up, if he kicks it. So was it a mid forward under 922k? No, not going to be a tackle for Nick there. No. So 922k. Let's have a look. So you got Tim Taranto at 922. Is his run any good? No, not particularly great. Darcy Wilson, don't mind, as a real pod if you want to go there. Obviously, you said you got Rankin. I don't mind Matt Rao. There's a bit of a different one there. Caleb Sarong's obviously. If you don't have Cozzy, I think Cozzy's the guy I'd go for. There's a kick from Baz out of mid-air, I think. I'd probably go Cozzy if you don't have him. Filippo as an option at about 750. Could be a bit cheaper than you could use that cash next week for something. They're probably the ones I like. I don't mind Caleb Sarong as well. Like, he is an option. I look at Melbourne, Adelaide, Carlton's not an amazing last 3 games, but if you're keen on him, then you could go that. I'd go Cozzy though if you don't have Cozzy. He's my pick if you've got that, Lockie. There's Darcy Cameron with another handball. So Darcy Cameron's starting pretty solidly. That'll be holding the ball against Myers. Yep. Good tackle there from Harvey Harrison. Shit kick and goes out of bounds. So DeGoey doesn't get it. So Wiltshire going down to the rooms. This Polkingoid kid is going to be good. It's annoying how the Cats find these studs as rum. I know. I keep wondering that all the time. How do Geelong keep finding these players every single year? They just keep getting it done, Geelong. They're a very good recruiting team. They just keep finding them. But yes, he's going to be very, very good. I'm just annoyed he's SA. So, like, could Crows someone get him? Even Port? He'd be really good at Port, wouldn't he? Like, with Port, with the injuries they've got, some of their forwards and just in general. Josh Dale's got a handball in there as well. There's Baz with a handball as well. Brian Myers got a handball in there too. Could be a free to... Jeez, I thought it might have been holding there, but that'll be a lasso against Sidebottom, so Humphries will take this. Watch Miller be right next week now that I've traded, says your boy. Well, from what I've read and seen, it sounds like he's done a hamstring at training. So... unless that's just been worded wrong in the article and they meant to say something else, I don't know, but I guess we'll find out, right? So there's another poor kick from Crispin. That's just gone out of bounds again on the full in a pretty similar position. MCG, players should not be kicking out in the full. Trader Jacos out last week to Miller, says, how dare I get luxury? Yeah, that's a shame, isn't it? Oh, good mark by Dempsey there. Over Crisp, who was the one that kicked out in the full. Yeah, bloody hell. That's some bad luck, Has, right there. Trading Jacos out, who started okay, I think. Well, he's not in the top sort of few scorers, but he started okay. Grind Miser, watch for you, Bale, says Fresh Prince Oz. He is, but I'm not going like, yeah, I have to get him in, right? I'd almost rather Manor, to be fair. I know Manor hasn't started particularly well in this game, but with his matchups, you could think he's got the ceiling. But I don't think I'm targeting those guys. Just with the fact I've got Miller, unless he's back next week, he's going to have to be a trade out. And whether I go down to a Bergman type to fund a move to go get Will Ashcroft in, or if I just get a different defender in, I don't know. I just don't know who the defenders are, to be honest. With Miller, if he's out, I just don't know who it is. So... DJ, what do we do? What do we think Hall Kahan can score this week? Think you're holding Miller for a week so I can get rid of Romar, says DJ. I think Hall Kahan can get an 80 in this matchup. I think so. I'm not going to get a chance to cash him, Maruki, says your boy. Yeah, I'm definitely not either. I'm still going to have multiple players over 500k on my bench, which is really annoying. Lockie Robbins already have Cozzy. Unfortunately, wish I had 30k more. Yeah, so maybe it is Sarong. Maybe Sarong is the pick. I don't mind Filippo at 750 odd if that would allow you to trade. So, Lockie, if you've got like a Petrarca or someone you don't want, or a Durham or whatever, you could trade them out, put Filippo into your forward line again. There's a kick from Dacos, and then go get a midfielder next week that you like better. So I feel like if you get Sarong this week, that's locking that midfield position out. I'd much rather someone like, I don't know if you've got Isaac Heaney in your team, but like him from next week onwards looks like a really nice target. Someone that I might have to get instead of Will Ashcroft next week, which I'd be fine to get Heaney, right? But I think DeGoey got a handball in there as well. Nick does look like he wants to tackle tonight. I've seen him try and lay like 4 or 5 tackles already. Don't know if he's landed many just yet, but certainly looking like he wants to tackle tonight, which is good. Corey, it was hamstring. They won't know extent until result of scans saw on X didn't complete training. Yeah, so... Yeah, and the thing is, right, I can't trade him out because I've got Callaghan who's out for the season and Nick Newman who's also done a hamstring. So I think Miller has more chance of playing next week if it's not as bad than what Miller is than what Newman is. But I just can't trade them all out. It's just unbelievable. And I think it's annoying as well because Callaghan and Newman aren't highly owned. They were both under 45%, and Callaghan was only about 20% in the top 1 of 5%. So it's like it's 2 unique players in the same week who've been injured, and I haven't been able to... At least I've got guys like Hulkahan, Banks as cover. So, like, I've got some decent enough cover, but it's certainly far from ideal. Certainly not what I'd want. Good smell there by Perryman. There's a tackle for Josh Dacos. Nice, Josh. That's what we want to see. Nicely done. What's the minimum for hammy, says your boy? Normally hammies are 2 to 3 weeks. The standard sort of 21-day hamstring, depending on what it is. If it's hamstring awareness for Miller, he could play next week. But you think with Richmond again, why would they risk him? So if we bring Miller in for these absolutely amazing matchups, and he plays one, scores well, but then he's going to miss a couple. It's the... Like, if you're talking, like, if you're ever going to get an injury, you want an injury where they score well for you, then they get injured. But obviously, in a week like this, we don't want injuries, right? As I said, I've got 3. Tanner Bruin got a handball to a Humphreys kick there. There's Grind Myers for a +5, got the handball. Myers has started pretty well. I don't know what he's on, but looks like he started all right. There's the intercept mark for Dan Houston. There's Josh Dacos. Josh Dacos short at all. No, that's Jeremy Howe. Where is Josh? He's on the other side, I'm assuming. He must be on the other side or he's come off for a rest. It don't seem so. Unless he's on the other side, he's gone off for his rest. Do I trade Durham or Marshall, says Perth on a budget? I'd trade Durham because I think the upside's bigger for Marshall. But if you need the extra cash from Marshall, then you can trade him as well. Because Durham's generally pretty safe for a 70, but that's where he's been scoring the last few weeks. No, there's Josh there, so he didn't go off for his rest. But there's Manor. Mandalay kick, that's smothered there, that one. It's going to roll through. I think Lipinski touched that there. I think, did he? Or did he miss it? He's not really looking like he's arguing it, so no, he must have missed it. So no, goal for Geelong. So Geelong, good start. They've kicked the first 3 goals of the game. Mills has a good run, just doesn't have a ceiling, says Has. Yeah, he hasn't gone over 110 for a while, so that's my concern with him. Mr. 5 Live. Traded in Manor, hoping for a 140 plus. Is he on track? He's got a little bit of it lately, but hasn't been big to start. But I don't mind that as a trade in, Mr. 5 Live. I think he's got some really nice matchups to come. He's got Essendon, North Melbourne, Richmond in his last 3. So I think it's a really nice 3 weeks. So I think he's still a solid trade in. Rob Silverhall can't on extended bench. Any chance he's drop rested? I don't think so. Like, of course, there's a chance, but I'm looking at the bench here, and I think that the guys that won't play will be Nick Murray because Keane's in, Scholl, and I think Toby Murray because they don't need. They got Ludovic, they've got Tex, they've got Thilthorpe. There is the 3 key tools. They don't need another one, but there is every chance he gets named. So I think Archie will play. I think Keys will play. And I think Hall Khan plays as well, along with probably, say, Zach Taylor. And maybe it is Toby Murray. Maybe it is Dowling doesn't play. Maybe it's Dowling, Murray, and Scholl that are off. So I think that Hall Khan does play, but obviously it is just something to watch there. I think Oscar Ryan, with the changes that the Crows make, I think Oscar Ryan comes in for Wayne Miller. I think Cal Archie, comes in for a Peatling. Ludovic comes in for Finbar Maley. and then someone's got to come in for Sam Berry. So let's say that's like Mark Keane probably for Nick Murray. There's Dust Cameron +6 as well, by the way. And probably Braden Cook. Yeah, Braden Cook will be the one in for Sam Berry, right? So I think that's just how those changes will be. So there's a tackle for Dusty Cameron. Dust Cameron started really well. Is it up to 27 or is up to 31 with that tackle? Don't know if they've added the +6 just yet. That's free kick to Darcy Cameron. Yep, free kick Darcy Cameron there. Yeah, so Darcy Cameron up to 31. I thought about putting him VC, you know. I didn't end up doing it, but I thought about putting him VC in this game. I just thought, no, I'll go Shees as a safe VC in the Dawson who's got the Bombers. But, hey, I brought Darcy Cameron back in, so I'll take a good score if he gets there. There's a kick, I think, for Dacos off the ground. Darcy Cameron did throw that one. I don't know if that's a... So Nick Dacos sitting down. I don't know if... Is there anything to worry about there, or is he just... After a tackle, he's just sitting down? No, Nick's fine. Yeah, +6. he's fine. He's just sitting down. Maybe want Mullen to walk away from him, then gets up and gets a +6 straight away. And Nick to Josh. Love to see that. +6 for Josh Dacos. And good kick from Josh Dales to McStay. So, and Josh comes off. So Nick comes off for his rest. So Nick's up to 32, even with this tag. He's holding his elbow. I think he just might have just landed a bit funny there. I think he's fine. So what happened here? Let's have a look. So, yeah, just arms tangled a bit. Maybe just a bit of a twist to the elbow, possibly. He'll be fine though. He was also holding his ankle. So, I don't know. I think he should be okay, but... just getting some work on the ankle. I think Nick will be fine. He doesn't seem too stressed. Lockie Robbins, I might get Berman using DPP with Parker. Then I can get 2 good mids from Track and Durham. Already have Baz, Nakos, Dawson, Heaney, Ashcroft. Yeah, so Goulden's one that sticks out to me that you don't have, so he'd be one I'd be targeting for sure. How taking care of kick-ins feels like he really limits Dacos a bit, and Houston as well. DJ had all 3, but luckily traded Callaghan to Dunkley last week. Nicely done, mate. At least you didn't have to deal with that this week. I wish I had... I wanted to trade Callaghan last week, to be fair, but then just had... Obviously, I'm glad I didn't, because I would have copped a donut. So, top scoring 10 in this game are fantasy relevant. It says has. Yeah, they are. A few good players have started decently. Darcy Cameron got their hand, but... See... I'm sorry, that's not on the ball when he's not really been fully tackled and he's got the handball away. So now he gets a -3 when he actually gets the handball away. I'm sorry, like if he's wrapped up and he's no chance getting rid of it, then play on the ball. But if he's still got his arms free trying to get rid of it, not like he's being slung 3 I don't think that's on the ball. Ollie Dempsey goal. That's just annoying. Low scoring fantasy game, no marks so far. Yeah, not many marks so far. Unfortunately. Shannon Barron, are there any AFLW leagues going around? Yes, there is. We got an open league, Shannon. So the code for anyone's doing AFLW Fantasy that wants to enter our open league. So code for that one is DF4JY0WL. So DF4JY0WL. If you want to enter into our open league, that's the one we got going here. Order of priority trade out. Romar, Track, Durham, says Rob Siver. Jeez, yeah, they're all probably could trade one over the other. So Nick doesn't look too stressed, but he's getting some gel rubbed onto the ankle. There's the guy in the CBA, which is nice. Got the handball. Darcy Cameron kick off the ground. Order of trade out. I feel like Romar probably got the lowest floor. There's a Baz kick off the ground. I feel like Romar's got the lowest floor because he's going to be shooting with TDK, but also if TDK is out again at any point, then he's got the highest ceiling. So maybe Romar because the big price he's got in his head, but Durham and Tracker just... Nah, I honestly don't know. I'd want all three out eventually. Like I've got Roma on track and I want both gone. I'd much rather have your Zach Baileys, your Jason Francis, your Chad Warners, guys like that in my side. I think Baz got a handball there. I'd much rather some of those guys instead, but I feel like Petrarca could go well this week. Revenge game against Melbourne, but he's been so bad for so long, I just want him out. He's just at 740k, so cheap. I feel like Durham would be the one I'd trade first, only because I think his upside is capped because of the Bombers. And he's just, and whereas there is a world where Petrarca gets back on track and Roma continues to just get some solid scores even with TDK. So maybe Durham goes first. Bloody Mullen trying to injure Nick. What a spud. Tom Stewart next week as a trade-in, says Mr. 55. I couldn't do it, but he could be an option. Andrew, I've got Darcy Cameron as my captain, Baz Smith, Nick Dacos, and Josh Dacos tonight. Yep, like that. I think that's a free kick for Darcy Cameron. And Pennell's just taking advantage again. That's the second time now Darcy Cameron's got a free kick and they've just taken advantage. I know that happens more often not with rucks, but it's just frustrating. What should I do? Wayne Miller says Apex Max. If you've got no other issues, I'd be trading. Because there's talk that it was a hamstring issue at training and he's going to get scanned. So there's no guarantees even back next week. So I'm trading Miller in that scenario. If you've got the trio like me, Miller, Callahan, and Newman, I'm keeping Miller of the three because there's at least more of a chance he plays next week compared to the other two. Obviously, Callahan's out for the season. Newman's out for at least a normal hamstring issue or so for a few weeks. And I feel like Newman's the sort of one where they go, well, if we're not in the race of finals, they might just put him on ice for the rest of the year. Whereas I think Miller will come back. But I'm probably going to trade the other one anyway. So if you've got no other forced issues, I'd be trading him out. Had Myers trade in all week until Miller out. Grim. Yeah, Myers been okay, 24. But yeah, obviously you've got to trade Miller out. Fred Krugs, all this talk about, and all he does is hold players. So who's that about? Fred Krugs? Who are you talking about? V Dynamite, Dustcam VC, here we go. GRB Aquatics. Suddenly my trades became Rowan and Franco to McCluggage and Filippo. Ouch. Hashtag reverse. No, don't mind those. There's a Nick Dacos handball, sorry. There's Ed Allen getting forward. Might kick another goal. No, missed that one. But yeah, no, I don't mind those trades, GRB Aquatics. I like Filippo as an in. And McCluggage is decent as well. Like, he's at a cheap price. And if he can go well from here, then great. He's at a cheap price. So, is Nick Dacos in, says Vin Calls. He got a bit of an ankle tweak there, but he's back on. He's fine. So, I think he'll be fine. But obviously, we know when Nick gets a little niggle like this, he can sometimes go quiet for a bit. But hopefully, Nick's different this year and just keeps going well. He started well regardless of the tag. So, but if you're tuning in, you're enjoying the stream as always, make sure you smash a like on the video. That'd be very much, or smash a like on the stream, sorry. That'd be very much appreciated. And subscribe if you haven't already. There's Dustcam with another hit out. There's Tom Stewart getting up. Don't know if that counts kick. So Tanner Brun with a kick there. Tom Stewart, good mark. Tom Stewart's actually started pretty well. He's over 30 points. This is actually a matchup where I think he probably could score quite well. I'm scarred so much from last year. I just don't think I could do it. Joke I had Tanner Brun there. Pretty much ignored him. Went straight down to a contest. Well, it's actually worked out well. Shannon Neal with a good mark. That should be a free kick against Jack Martin. Didn't touch the ball. He went for the mark, but didn't touch it. Unrealistic, surely. Who do you go for now? Miller is out, says Finn Calls. Are you talking about as a defender? Well, obviously him and Zorko are out, right? They were two of the more... Well, you look at there, right? I did the most trading players for obviously the thing at the bottom there earlier today, and number 4 and number 5 are both out. So I think Brad Hill, if you've got the money, is my number one pick in defence. that is probably going to be a Josh. Is Josh Doss going to take the free kick? Because he got the tackle late. Josh, please. Oh, go away, Pendles. Pendles is almost the one of the three that didn't deserve it in a way of the free kick there. Actually, Ned Long probably should have been the one to take it, but I would have liked if it was Josh that took it. Here's Nick with a handball, gives it to Josh. Josh with a handball as well. It's not a good kick from Crisp. He's literally kicked to his one teammate who was against 2 Geelong players. Myers with another kick, so Myers is getting a bit of the footy. Polking on, it's good mark. He looks really, really good. He looks like he's a 5-6 year veteran the way he's playing. Should have gone Tom Stewart and straight seed him, says Has. I would never straight seed Tom Stewart, but he started all right. Andrew says, I'm looking at Blakey to Impey and Durham to Will Day. I like Impey as an in, Andrew, but I wouldn't get Will Day because I think he'll get the Finn O'Sullivan tag. So, but I like trading Durham out though, and I don't mind the other trade. But I would be looking at a different midfielder. Maybe Mateus Filippo, Andrew, where you could go, and maybe if you want to hold Blakey, he's got St Kilda, so like he could go okay. But I don't mind trading him out. I don't think he's a top 6, right? And I think Impey's good, so don't mind those trades. Polky on with a goal, and no, did he kick the goal, or is it just quarter time and they've just gone straight to their huddles? Because I missed it when I was reading that one. Did Polky kick the goal there? Yeah, he did. Yeah, goal for Polky. So good lead for Geelong, 5-2, 32-1, 2-8 at quarter time. So decent start for Geelong. So scores. So Dempsey's on 40. Good start for him. Darcy Cameron's obviously started really well as well. He's on 38. 4 tackles is really nice to see. As a VC, that would have been really nice to have gone. Nick Dacos 36 as well with 12 disposals, so he's just getting it done even with the tag. Tom Stewart's on 31, so good start for him as well. Ryan Myers 27, Jai Clark 26 for anyone that did go there. It's a bit of a unique option. I know Mitch from Ball Boys went there. Josh Daleson 21, it's okay, it's passable for a quarter. Tanner Bruns on 20 as well. Just hasn't really been many marks taken in this game so far. Baz only on 14. Obviously, with that Ed Allen tag there. Jordan goes on 11. That's not great for him. Jan Houston's only on 8. Humphrey's on 11. Manners on 6. So a few decent scores, but a few poor scores as well. So, yeah, not too great. I just do wish I went to VC on Darcy Cameron. I just thought, well, Dawson against the Bombers, I still think he'll go well, even if he gets managed a tiny bit. And then I thought, well, I'm going to go Shees. I'm not going away from Shees being a VC or a C. So a little bit annoying. Darcy Cameron's not my VC, but hey, I'll trade him in. I'll take that. I'm pretty happy with that still. Jacob Clayton, do I trade out Romar and Miller to Hill and Warner and hold Durham, or go Romar and Durham to Hill and Warner and field Hall Khan and hold Miller for the week? I would do the first option. I'd go Romar and Miller to Hill and Warner. Because the whole point of us getting Miller in was to get these matchups. But not only is he out this week, but there's also a hamstring issue as well. So I'll be trading him out. Get Brad Hill, get Chad Warner. Love those trades, Jacob. I'd be locking those two away. Went Brun to save the 200k. Feel like he's getting burnt a lot. Yeah, he got burnt a couple of times in that quarter, has for sure. Polkinghorn outscoring DeGoey. Yeah, DeGoey, I wasn't feeling great about DeGoey this week with illness. So, yeah, hopefully he can get to an okay score from here. But I do worry. I did say that at the start as well that I was a bit worried about tonight for DeGoey. Baz has been poor, says Lee. I was just getting tagged by Ed Allen. That's the big reason why. That's why he wasn't in my top 10 captains this week. I was just worried about the tag from Ed Allen tonight, along with Mullen tag on Dacos, but Dacos still getting it done, so on 36. Seems to just give up when he's getting tagged, says Lee. Yeah, no, he does. Yeah, even Fitzy last week was pretty good, kept into a 95. A couple weeks ago, Baz was pretty quiet on Windy for those 2 quarters until they dropped that tag again. So you think, well, Baz last 3 games, he's got Essendon, Richmond, North Melbourne. You think Essendon, Richmond should be fine, but maybe North Melbourne gets a FOSS tag, so maybe that's a lower one for Baz. Baz has slowed down a little bit after being big for a number of weeks, obviously, to start the year. He's still been good, like still not been like horrible or anything like that, right? But it just has tailed off slightly from what he was doing at the start of the year, right? So like to start the year in the first 10 rounds, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 scores of those 10 games over 120. Since round 10, he's only had 3 scores over 120. Obviously, another one that's 118, and those 3 were in 3 weeks. He had an injury in around that score as well. A few reasons why he scored low in a couple of games, so that's why. But as I said, has slightly dipped from that big start to the year compared to what he was doing. So, again, think he'll be fine. I think he'll still get to an okay score tonight, but yeah, it is just something to watch. So Darcy Cameron, I wonder how many people brought Darcy Cameron in this week. So trade-ins this week. So Darcy Cameron. No, that's just mids. No, I was going to say, yeah, surely he's brought in more. So nearly 3,400 people brought in Darcy Cameron this week. So it's about 20% in the top 1 and 5%. So not too highly owned, obviously, unless a few people brought him in late. But I went Miller to Brun and Reed or Petrarca to Rankin, says Tim. Yeah, I like those trades, Tim. Yep, Miller to Brun's good. Tick that off. Reed or Petrarca to Rankin. I'd trade Petrarca to Rankin, I think. Oh, actually, no, you know what? I might go Reed, because Reed, only because I think there might be some management come in the last few weeks. But Reed probably scores better this week. But maybe last few weeks, maybe does he go okay? I'm not sure, but don't have enough to get Hill. Who should I get under $1 million in defence? Whitfield for me is probably the next pick if you don't have Whitfield. I like Impey as well. They're probably the 2. And maybe Bowie is a bit of a pod. Bergman if you want to go real cheap. They're probably the ones. If Pies keep getting smashed, they might drop the tag on Baz, says Has. I don't think it will, because I don't think that's the reason why they're getting beaten. Because Ed Allen's been in the midfield while Collingwood have been playing better. So I think they'll keep persisting with that. Because if Baz gets off the leash, that could just be even worse for Geelong. So worse for Collingwood. As much as I would love the tag to be dropped. If Pies keep getting... Oh, yeah, it said before. DC -4 apparently. So he's up to 34. So yeah, they must take a tackle away from him, unfortunately. To go +2 on 13 now, says Corey. Yes, that would have been the handball I saw, but they wouldn't have counted. So hopefully to go can get to an okay score. We're about to start the second quarter. So here we go. We're back underway. There's a handball for Baz, so gets a handball straight away. Try to get it to Nick, but nothing doing there. Also, I just thought there, did Josh Dacos play 100% TOG in that first quarter? There's Houston with a kick. Just having a look. No, he didn't. No, he came off. No, 85%. DeGoey, funny enough, played 90% after missing with illness for all week, pretty much. And he was the highest TOG for any Collingwood player, which is interesting. Golden Guys, 995. Should I trade Petrarca to Rankin or Durham to Rankin? I think I'm Durham out over Petrarca. Durham, 370s in a row. Ceiling is really capped at the Bombers at the moment. They're just not scoring points. And I just think Petrarca, there's a world where he goes quite well this week against his former side. Like, spicy take, it probably is. I think Petrarca tons up this week. That'll be my spicy take this week. And it is spicy because he's done 1 ton in his last, 2-3 months. So I'm saying spicy take this week is Petrarca tons up. That's my spicy take. So I'll go Durham to Rankin. But I still think Petrarca's got more upside than Durham does over the last few weeks. So I'd go Durham out. And he's more expensive as well. Gives you more cash to play with next week. So that's where I'd go. Corey, if Reed goes well, is it okay to trade a Marshall? Hang on. Baz with a kick there. If Reed goes well, is it okay to trade Marshall and Durham to Goulden and then trade Wilkie to Impey? So wait, trade a Marshall and Durham to Goulden, then trade Wilkie to Impey. If not, will be Fitz to Goulden and Durham to JHF Sparrow. It's a good question, Corey. So what? So if Reed goes well, Murphy Reed, obviously that being tomorrow night, I'm assuming you mean trade Marshall or Durham. I'm assuming you're meaning to Goulden. I wonder, Corey, could you loop Murphy Reed in the midfield and loop Marshall in the ruck possibly? Could you loop and get the best score of the two, and that would decide who you bring in? Would that be something you could do as well? I think Goulden's a great in. I feel like Fitz to Goulden, though, you're getting that 23rd back in, which seems really handy, particularly when we're getting injuries. So I think I'd still stick with Fitz to Goulden and go Durham to JHF Sparrow. I think they're two really nice trades. And if Reed goes really well, then you can maybe think about it. But I feel like I'd just almost just bench someone and just leave it there. I feel like, yeah, Fitz to Goulden's a really nice trade. Obviously, you're getting the 23rd back. And then Durham up to one of those forwards is really nice as well. I think I'd stick with the second option there, Corey. There's Tanner Brood with a handball. Warple seems to be getting a fair bit of it. He's not in the top scorers, but just seems to be getting a fair bit of it so far. There's Manor with a +6. Could be a +12. Nut Puncher just got there just before it crossed the line. Really? I can tell from here. And I'm watching from a TV screen miles away. That's ridiculous. You should not need a review for this. It's clearly been marked by a puncher before it's crossed the line. Controlled. There's nothing to look at this. Like, what are we doing? This is not what the review... Like, look at that. Clearly before it's crossed the line. We don't need reviews for this. Like, we really don't. What a waste of 30 seconds. And it's disadvantaged Collingwood as well, by the way. Now Geelong have got all their players marked. It's just a pointless review. We brought reviews in to get rid of the howlers of like scoring of scores, not to check if there's a mark that's clearly a mark has been controlled over. I'm sorry. The goal umpires have got to stop being such wusses and actually make their calls. There's Dust Cam with a kick. Like the goal umpires just don't have any confidence. They just got to get to that confidence and just make the call. They got to stop relying on technology for every single call. Like, it's just pointless. So it's a high tackle against Nick Dacos. But I'm sorry, again, Nick, the guy whoever got tackled, Warple, ducked his head. Ridiculous. There's Baz with a kick. So Baz getting a couple of touches early in this quarter, which is good to see. Shannon Brown, are you going to any more games this year, says Shannon? Yep, if talking in person, I will be going to the last two Crows home games, and hopefully a Crows home final would be nice. But I'll be going to the Richmond game next Saturday night, and then the Giants game. I think that's pretty sure it's also a Saturday night. It's a couple of Saturday night games to finish, which the Crows have had a lot of night games this year, which has been great. Love night games, much better than day games. And then hopefully a final. Maybe a home elimination final, unless they finish fourth. But I think that there's Nick Dacos free kick against Mullen for holding. Yeah, Mullen's got to be careful with that. They're going to be all over that tonight. If Nick's getting any little bit of holding, they're going to pay that free kick, which is good. We want Nick to get points. There's Darcy Cameron for short +6. Didn't think normally rucks call for little +6s like that, but hey, we take that one. He's going along very nicely, Darcy Cameron. So, Review systems of jokes is gone, guys. Yep, 100% agree with you, mate, on that one. Corey, yeah, might look into it for sure. Just feel Reid will be good for sure on field. Yeah, I think he will. There's an argument to actually. You know what, Corey? Honestly, I would argue that you'd probably play Reid on field against the Dogs in a good matchup, and just and loop Roma. To be honest, I think I'd feel more comfortable looping Roma on the bench and having a look at that than I think Murphy Reid will be good. I think. Do you have a lower score like a 45 on the weekend just gone, or was that the week before? I think that was last week. Good kick from Mullen there. And is that Manor? I think that's Manor goal. Yep. I'm pretty sure Murphy it was last week. I'm just having a look. I'm pretty sure it was last week he scored 45. Meanwhile, Geelong 50, Collingwood 8. It is a big discrepancy at the moment. No, it must have been the week before. So, yeah, last week Murphy Reid got an 80. So, there's no to me that you play him on field against the Dogs in a better matchup and you loop Romar against Grundy. What are they looking at with Darcy Cameron and Blitzarves there for? Oh, they're just looking at how Blitzarves is blocking Darcy Cameron from getting back to get those marks there. He's called Puncher, not Marker, to be fair, says Has. It's a good point. Good point, Matt Has. So is Manor top? No, not quite there. I don't know who got that clearance because that too busy showing replays. Jai Clark handball there. That was a shit tackle attempt by Lipinski there. Geelong are all over him at the moment. There's like 4 Collingwood players trying to go for the tackle there. That'll be on the ball. I have to loop Marshall F7 as I've got Steen R3 locked out. Oh, yeah, as in no, that's what I mean. Loop Marshall at F7, Corey. That's what I'd probably do. Just because there's the worry with the back and how much ruck time is going to be there. There's a Brian Myers goal. Geelong are smashing Collingwood at the moment. 48 points. Surely Pies get this back. Don't need Geelong gaining more percentage on the Crows, says Golden Guys. To be fair, Golden Guys, I was thinking about this the other day after the Crows lost to Collingwood, which makes it worse that getting smashed now by Geelong. But I'm sort of thinking, well, I don't really know if I want the Crows finishing 4th, to be fair. Because if you finish 4th, you're playing Freo over in Perth, first final. That's like Crows after going straight sets. That is almost the worst matchup. Because then if they probably aren't going to win that one, that would be 3 finals lost in a row. Then they go, well, come back at home. So they'll play Geelong or Collingwood at Adelaide Oval, who've had the, you think, more finals experience, and then Crows straight sets back-to-back years. I think I'd rather them play that should be a free kick, Darcy Cameron, or it should have been. I think I'd rather the Crows play a Bulldogs or a St Kilda or a Carlton or someone like that at Adelaide Oval in an elimination final. I think that it seems like better. And then maybe they get that win. They play a team going for loss. Maybe worse better. I don't know. But, yeah, part of me, I think 4th is almost the worst position to finish this year, I think. Unless you're probably a Brisbane. I think Brisbane could handle going over to Freo. I feel like the other teams would struggle playing Freo in that first final over there. Here's Darcy Cameron, intercept mark. He's so good at doing that. It's just a shame that he's not as good in the CBAs for those hit-outs. But he's getting it done, Darcy Cameron, around the ground. I don't know if he's on 51 or if he's on 45 with that +6, but just getting it done at the moment. Just need Josh to get involved. I thought Josh would have a good night tonight, but I guess Collingwood aren't having a good night, so it probably doesn't help. Just a dangerous kick. Trying to go to Goey. Bad kick. Bad kick. And Jai Clark all alone. He'll possibly line up for goal here. Golden Guys, good point. Rather get to the semis via a win in week 1 rather than a loss in qualifying. Yep, that's a good point. Yep, but obviously the best part about the top 4 is you don't have to. But then again, I feel like do we feel like maybe with the finals issue, but actually, I'm just interested to get your guys' thoughts as well. Do we think that with the finals at the way they are now, with the pre-finals bye, that it's almost not like the top 4 isn't like the double chance is still good, but like in terms of like obviously the fact that you have a week off, and I think Josh does took a kick in without playing on. Dan Houston +6. I reckon Josh does took that kick in there and didn't play on. Unforgivable. Cardinal sin, that one. But like finishing 5th or 6th, I guess, has a few bonuses as well, especially with the finals format now, right? You don't have you're playing against a team that's hasn't had a rest. Would have had one. No, hang on. No, don't have a rest. Yeah, no, because they're playing that pre-finals bye is the wild card round, right? So the 5th and 6th have also got an advantage where they got the week off. They don't have the obviously the double chance, but I think Josh got a handball along with Nick in that play as well. So yeah, I just think, what do you guys think? DCVC says Fresh Prince Oz. Yes, he's done very nice. That's a little bit of a dangerous one there from Guthrie. Yeah, I was going to say a bit of a sling motion there late. Perryman hamstring, says Corey. Just another injury to add to, not us fantasy coaches, right, but just another injury to add to the tally of injuries this year. There's Baz, got the handball away just, but Ed Allen's still right on him like he has been all night. There's Angry Anderson. And see, he misses one there, but yeah, he kicks it from the bloody boundary against us. Is Baz going to take a kick in here? No, Tom Stewart told him to go away. That would have been handy for Baz for a kick in. Yeah, Dust carrying up to 51, so going along very, very nicely. That's out in the full. So Collingwood free kick. Just over 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. Membry, is that going to be a goal? I reckon it's a goal. I don't reckon that was touched. What are we doing? So the one you probably should have reviewed, because it looked like it was touched, they don't call a review. Like it baffles the mind. It baffles the mind. I don't think he's touched it. That's a goal. He hasn't touched it. I didn't see a touch at all. I reckon that's a goal, and they've called it behind without reviewing it. There's a Josh Douglas handball. That's ridiculous. Oh, this review system's a joke. Oh, it was a free kick, says Schultzy and Golden Guys. Oh, I can't hear the commentary, right? That just looked like they didn't review it. So, but to be fair, if that's a block, that's a very soft block. Like you see jostling and that on the line all the time. So point still stands. I think it's a bad call regardless. I still think that's not a block. I think it's a very, very soft call. Cheers for the Darcy Cameron captain picks as Golden Guys. All good, mate. Nicely done. So far, obviously. Yep, still got a bit of time, obviously, which is a good thing, but still plenty of the game to go, right? So who knows what can happen. I don't want to go too early, but yes, no, nicely done so far. Fresh Prince Oz with the DC having the VC for you. I'm glad I traded him in. So like I'm not too unhappy I didn't VC him. Just because I wanted Shees VC. I can't not go Shees with the form that he's in at the moment. And then Dawson captain against Essendon, and I just think it's a good pick. Yep, there's a chance last quarter Crows are up by a bit, he gets rested, but there's a chance he's on like 120 before that point anyway. So What is a handball from Quainer? That's interesting handball. Nick Dagos with a kick as well. Good one there from Charlie West. Good one. Fresh Prince, I was strange how DC was on the trading block a month ago and now I trust him with the VC. Yes, I know, mate. This is the crazy year that we're in. Like it's just when you look at it right in isolation with DC and his matchups, right? Those matchups he scored poor in were actually quite tough. Those matchups, like you look here, like he scored well against West Coast and Bulldogs, good matchups. Then Melbourne against Gawn, that's a tough matchup, scored 77. Port against Sweet, that's a tough matchup, and it was so uncontested, 55. 75 against Richmond, poor score, another quite uncontested game. And then Gold Coast is a tough matchup for rucks. And then North has been decent enough of late for a ruck matchup. Carlton is decent as well, and that was against Reedy, which made it better. And then the Adelaide, probably the one big game for DC that was a standout, 137 against the Crows. I didn't see him doing that against McAndrew because McAndrew's been a bit of a tricky matchup for rucks this year, but it was a very, very good score because he played obviously very, very well. So, like, I could see the thought, well, he still should be able to get to at least an 80, 85 even in a tough matchup, regardless. But also look at those matchups now, you can go, well, there's a reason why they're actually quite low as well. This is the hardest watch I've ever seen. What a shit fantasy game. Yeah, I came into this knowing that there's a chance we'll see some bad scores. Obviously, I didn't think there were going to be this many bad scores, but there's a Josh Dagos handball. Like, De Goey's just nowhere near it, which is not a shock when he's been sick all week, but Josh Dagos is short there. No. But yeah, obviously Baz has been quiet with the tag. Nick's doing pretty well considering. But yeah, it's not been a great fantasy game. I thought it would be. Collingwood Geelong, probably think, well, here we go. We got Nakos and Baz and all these guys. But there's Baz with a handball. Just under, we've got 6 minutes 55 to go. Brun 4-point quarter. So far, yeah, he's been quiet. Which again, Collingwood, good matchup. And the fact that Geelong winning by a fair bit, he's probably someone I could see junking it up late as well. Particularly if Geelong stay in this position of being quite ahead of Collingwood. So what's that for? What's this free kick for? Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. I didn't see the fend off there. Got Quainer pretty much right across the chin there. Yep. No, good call by the ump. I probably should have traded De Goey instead of Romar, says Schultze. I never thought about trading. I thought if De Goey plays, like, you hold. He's been good for so long, so. Fresh Prince Oz line for VC this week with Dawson waiting in the wing, says Fresh Prince Oz. Honestly, this is a week I'll take 110. I think I'm taking a 110. If Shees goes 110, I'm taking it. Just because there is a chance that Dawson, if the Crows are up by 7 goals in the last quarter, 10 minutes to go, they put him on ice. Look at what the Crows done this week. Berry's been rested. Peatling's been rested even though he's dealing with injury. Like, Miller is obviously out injured as well. Like, they've rested players this week. I just think that there's a chance that guys like Rankin and Dawson get rested towards the end of the game against the Bombers. But I wouldn't take a 105 because I still think Dawson could quite easily get there in 3 and a bit quarters. So I'm still 110 this week, but I think it's lower this week because of the lack of good options with some tags and stuff like that going around and not many good matchups. So there's Nick, got a handball away. Out of bounds. Corey, I did consider looping De Goey, but tonight, most won't have bench anyway, so it's fine. Yeah, I didn't have any cover. I've got Gallup and Banfield, who are obviously both not playing, so I had no cover in the forward line, so I couldn't loop, even if I wanted. Well, like, technically I could have. I could have had a look at De Goey and see what he did, because I got Brad Hill, so if De Goey scored poorly, put him forward, but then I would only have Artemis as cover in defence. Like, probably thinking about it now, probably could have done that, but I never really thought about it, to be honest, which probably makes me feel a bit better. Could I've looked at it a bit more? Possibly. But yeah, oh well. Yeah, Corey, you can suffer with us, mate, says Lee. Has Cameron scored at all last 10 minutes? He's been on the bench, Golden Guys, for the last sort of 4 or 5 minutes, I think. So that's why he hasn't scored. VC, Shees or Ashcroft, can't decide as Dawson captain. Shees VC for me, Corey. You got, I think it's too risky going against him. She's been so good. Hawthorn's good matchup down at Pig Park. I think you go quite well. So Shees VC for sure for me. Broad 10-minute bench stint says has. Yep, stock standard Geelong tactics once again has. Liam, may as well drop the Smith tag. Pies losing anyway. Do us a favour. There's another Baz kick. Yeah, it would be a favour, to be honest, if they did. But yeah, who knows? Maybe Collingwood think, well, you get another couple of goals because obviously they just kick one there. Maybe they get a couple of goals and they're only 5 goals down. Then they're only 7 goals down. So if they kick another goal or two before before half time, they're not completely out of it. That should be free kick for Manor there, holding the ball. Yep. So Josh and Nick on the bench at the moment. I think the thing tonight, annoying with this year, just in general, the season's just been completely ruined, I feel. Unless you're in a really good spot, then you probably feel like this is quite exciting with all the drama and stuff. I just feel like I'm ranked 2,300 trying to get top 2K, top 1K, which would be nice, but I don't know, there's just way too much carnage and injuries and stuff going around. It's just like there's players in my side. There's probably like a good half a dozen players I don't want in my side that I'd love to trade out. No, nothing for Dego. So Dego was nearly a possession there, then nearly a tackle, but nothing. It's almost a throw for blitz halves. There's Darcy Cameron with a handball. Bruin not good, says Tim. Nah, has been a bit quiet so far. Stardoors, my first year doing fantasy, so all these injuries is all I've ever known. Yeah, Stardoors, it hasn't been like this. It's not normally like this. I think there was a stat that I know Jake shared to me that was on Twitter last week that premium injuries before last round started at the same time the last 3 years was it was 69 last year before round 20 of premium injuries of players averaging 95 plus in fantasy, right? So there'd been 69 players at that point have been injured throughout the year, averaging 95 plus before round 20. There's a +6 for Brun there. And I think Humphrey's got +6 as well. This year, it's 141. So it's over double. That's why it's felt so much like every week we've had multiple forced trades. And even the few years before the 6-9 last year, it was like I think it was years of 70 odd, which is the standard, right? It's about that. Here's to go with a handball. Here's Collingwood again. Angry Anderson out the back. Yep, Angry will line up for goal. Collingwood kicked this. They're back to, what's that? Back to 35. 6 goals, half to go. Obviously, Collingwood haven't been great so far, but we could still have a game in the second half if Collingwood stay within touching distance. Which we really want, right? Obviously, it's not great for Baz. They'll keep the tag going. But for Josh Dacos and guys like that, if we want them to score points, we need this game to at least stay close for a fair while. There's Angry, and he's kicked it. It's been actually quite effective as a forward, Angry, last little bit since he's been in the side. So Josh and Nick will come back on. Bales, try guess how many marks Josh Douglas and Baz have combined. I'm going to say none. Because I haven't seen Baz take a mark, and I don't think Josh might have one. Possibly. Let me have a look. Josh only on 30, by the way. Yeah, Josh has had one. Yeah, Baz had none. So, yeah, I thought it might be, none or one. Yeah, there's a few low scores. Geez, Ang could be all right on field this week. He's on 43. Then maybe I'm a curse, says Star Doors. No, I think it's just with the rule changes, to be honest. I think that's just the big reason why. Brad trade then, says Tim. Oh, we've still got half to go, Tim. Hopefully Brun can get you to an okay score. But again, in defence, who are you getting, right? There's so many options that it's been subpar. There's a Darcy Cameron kick from the clearance. There's possibly a tackle for Brun if they pay that for him or Humphreys. One of the two will get the tackle. So is Nick Dagos still on the bench, or has he got on and Mullen's still off? No, Nick's on and Mullen's off. So is that maybe a couple of sockers for Baz there, possibly? We'll definitely get one, possibly two, if they counted that action as a soccer. Here's Josh Dacos with a handball. He's going to get it back from DeGoey with a handball. Josh got another handball in as well. DeGoey's going to get it back here. So a couple of possessions for DeGoey there. Got the kick away. And Josh got a couple of handballs. So that's at least a little bit better. Want a fair bit more of that. Collingwood have certainly had a good 5 minutes. They've stopped the goals for Geelong, and they've been able to key a couple themselves. Minute 42 to go in the half. I think hit out for DC, I think. Tapped it like 2 or 3 times, so I just don't know if do they normally pay their handball or they pay that it's just like he's trying to juggle the ball. It looks like Mark O'Connor's on to go at the moment. I don't know if that's a tag or just a match-up. I'm assuming it's just a match-up. Blitzarves trying to get bloody Darcy Cameron free against him. Go away, Blitzarves. There's Baz with a kick. Baz just getting a little bit more of the ball. That should be a free kick to Josh Dacos. He got the handball away, Josh. Josh is handballing way too much tonight. There's another handball from Josh. So, back-to-back handballs. Another handball for Josh Dacos. My God, I think Nick got the handball there as well. But 5 handballs in the last 2 minutes for Josh Dacos. What is going on? Josh, get on the boot, mate. There's Crane. I thought that was Josh actually finally going to get a kick, but not to be. There's McCreary. McCreary gets out of a tackle. Another goal for Collingwood. We've got a game. Back to having a bit of a game. 29 points is back to now for Geelong. Collingwood have kicked 3 in a row, I think. Tommy Stewart's on 46 as well. So there you go. Darcy Cameron up to 60 as well. Twelve of 15 touches for Jacos have been handballs. Yeah, golden guys. I thought that was the case because it seems like he's handballed a lot tonight, which has been frustrating. But at the same time, at least he's getting some points, right? So he'd be on like 40, I think. He'd be pretty close to that at least now, anyway. So at least he's getting the ball. But obviously, I would much rather him be kicking it. DeGoey with a handball. Is this to Josh? Well, Josh should get it here. Josh, kick the ball. Yes, Josh with a kick. Collingwood snatched one before half time. Collingwood's pressure's certainly really picked up. And that'll be half time. Half time. Certainly I don't know what Lockie Schultz is arguing for. Not sure what's going on there, but certainly they came back late in that. I don't know if is he having got Josh Dacos? Better not be bloody having got Josh Dacos. I don't know where he'd be able to go for. But Collingwood certainly got themselves back in that last 5 minutes, kicking a few goals to keep it a contest. But let's go through these scores. I would go to them on the screen, but I know it will lag and you won't be able to see pro. So I might as well just go through the scores here anyway. So Dempsey on 76. He's dominating. 2 goals, 16 touches. So good for drafts if you own him. Darcy Cameron's on 60 as well. So really good quarter from him. 11 touches, 3 marks, 3 tackles. You take that. 11 hit-outs as well. So very nice from him. Henry 57, Warple 56, Blitzar's 51, and Atkins 50. So good for those with draft. But yeah, Darcy Cameron, the only relevant player over 50 that we've got. So Stewart's on 49. Nick Dagos on 47. Not a surprise Nick's not going absolutely big, but still the fact he's going okay. Jai Clark 43. That's okay. Like Josh Dacos is on 43. Like it's annoying because he's had 12 handballs, only 1 mark, 1 tackle, but it's not disaster. Manor 42 is okay. Myers 41 is okay, but you want obviously a bit more from those two. Baz on 38. No marks, no tackles from Baz. A lot of those have been soccers as well. So Ed Allen again clamping another bloody victim once again. Tanner Bruin on 36. Humphreys on 30. DeGoey on 24. That's stinky. Houston on 16. Polkinghorn's only on 14 as well, so he kicked that goal and hasn't done, unfortunately, too much outside of that. So, yeah, a few low scores there, a few middling scores. So, yeah, it's really just Darcy Cameron that's going well. Outside Darcy Cameron, it's pretty poor. So, Jacob's third most possession on the ground says has. Yeah, he's going well. As I said, just a lot of handballs. DeGoey been disappointing so far, says your boy. Yeah, just obviously probably being sick all week probably has a bit to do with it, I think. But, yeah, we probably want a bit more from him, obviously. We need a big second half with a lot of marks, says Lee. Agreed. WTF to going, man. Why TF is it McRae putting on ball full time? Probably being sick all week, I think, is probably a big thing to do with it, I think. Schultz telling Jacobs to kick it more. Too many handballs. Yeah, exactly. Not enough marks for DeGoey. Could easily have a few marks. Yeah, he's been missed on a couple of +6s, right? 2 +6s, 36 points isn't disaster. They need to drop the tag and play DeGoey in the middle, says Lee. I wish that they did, but unfortunately, I don't think they're going to. Hey, Bale's thoughts on my trades from before, says Schultzy. What was your trades before, Schultzy? You have to scroll up, Schultzy, to look for your trades. I don't know what your trades were. Let me have a look. Where are they? Well, Schultzy, I can't find your trades. Unless I've skipped over them. What were they, Schultzy? Just chuck them in the chat. Is Brun still an okay trade, says Tim? Yeah, Tim, I think so, yeah. Like, we can't judge on a half, right? But I still think it was a decent move. I still liked him as an in. Ben, I'm pissed because I don't have any forward loop and Jagraph 7, so I would have to put E on DeGoey. Yeah, so you couldn't have a look at it, right? And you probably had thought, like, do you have forced trades where you couldn't bring in a red dot? Like, could you have looked at a red dot if DeGoey went well, but put him on the bench? I don't know, but Andrew, just a second quarter with a local Mexican beer. There you go. Actually, how's my matchup going? Actually, no, not my matchup, sorry. No, because I'm not in a matchup. I want to see how Tom's matchup's going. So, yeah, 43, 47, 38, 60, and 24 is not a great 5-man on the field, sorry, besides Darcy Cameron. Like, the Dacos brothers get a tick, or a pass mark, sorry. So, Jacobs gets pass mark. Nick Dawes probably gets a tick, to be fair, against Mullen. Darcy Cameron gets a tick. DeGoey gets a cross. Baz gets a cross as well. So, not great. Yeah, how's the matchup, the Content Creators Cup going? So, DC's up against Holmesy. Who's the uniques here? So, Holmesy's got Houston as a unique, but he's got Darcy Cameron as the VC. DC has got Brun. He must have brought Brun in this week, and he's got Baz as a unique. Okay, so that's interesting. So DC is a unique, makes up for Houston. So that's actually quite a unique matchup, to be fair, so far. And then the other one I wanted to check was Taze and Tom. How's that? No, Taze and Jordy, sorry. So Jordy's got Josh Dalis as a unique and Darcy Cameron VC. Tom has got Houston, Humphreys, and DeGoey. Okay, yes, so not great from Tom so far. How many people in the Content Creators Cup have got DC VC? So Holmesy does, Jordy does. Muhammad 20 coach has got him VC. MJ's got him VC. You can't see the other guys in the league. So it'll be interesting to see how many people went to VC on Darcy Cameron. I was tempted to with the Geelong matchup and how good a form he's been in. Hopefully Shees gets it done regardless. I've missed a little bit of chat here. L Song says Cameron should be on 70 odd, 2 frees 4 that got played on from, and a -3 that was a handball, took a tackle off him as well. Says, yeah, no, good point. Exactly right. So, Finger Call says Heath back in. Did he? He's back in, but he's in the extended squad though. Finger Call. So there's no guarantees being named unless he's named on field. No, he's on the extended bench, right? So you've got Salem, Windsor, Jath, Melksham, Taylor, McDonald, Heath, and Fitzgerald. So I think the 3 emergencies. Did Tom McDonald come in, or has he been playing? So Tom McDonald was playing. So I think So who's out? So Cook, Chandler, and Pickett. So you'd think that McDonald will hold his spot. So I think Salem, Windsor, Jath, Melksham, and probably Fitzy. So maybe McDonald is out. Maybe McDonald does come out because you've got... which just depends, right? Does Salem come back in? Where does Fitzy go out, right? I don't think Fitzy goes out because I'm looking on the bench. Salem's a defender. Windsor's been playing defence, could play midfield. Jasper defence. Melksham's forward. Taylor's defender. McDonald's defender. Heath's ruck. So their only midfielder on the bench would be Fitzy. So I think Fitzy should be fine. I don't think Heath will get named looking at that bench there. So I think Gorney's still going to be fine. Hang on. Actually, I can probably unplug this, charge at my headphones now. I don't need that anymore. Alrighty. I brought in DCAM and chucked the VC on him. Says Ben, nicely done, mate. Taylor won't play a field. Yeah, I don't think Taylor will. I don't think Heath will. It'll just come down. Is it May McDonald that goes out? Maybe he's who goes out. But yeah, nicely done, Ben, with the VC. I wish I went the VC as well on debut. Probably should have done it with watching the Watchalong, to be fair. But I just thought, she's VC. I can't go against she's VC. And then Jordan Dawson gets the Bombers, even though there is a slight rest. But you think the matchup's still pretty good, right? So... Actually, my draft slot? I've picked a few people up to put on the bench to loot tonight. How's that going? Picked up Steel side bottom off the scrap heap because it's a pretty deep draft. He's on 19 at half time. Not quite what I was after. Actually, is this in the final? Is this in finals now? No, okay. Finals in Shiva. It starts in round 22, so next week. But I need to win to have the bye to go straight through the prelim. Which would be handy. Can't believe I did it, but traded back into... you said the Spud DC, Will, but he's not the Spud, though. He's going along very nicely, and he's going along really nicely once again. So, but no, I know what you're talking about. This is the second time I've traded in Darcy Cameron. Fair enough, if Darcy Cameron goes well, I've traded him in for 2 good scores. It's just I missed the last few scores, and I had him for a few bad scores. So it's an interesting ride with DC for me this year. Ben says same, but feels like crap. Yep. El Song, thoughts on Warwood Miller out elite matchups? What's Worrell done this year in terms of scores? Let me have a look. I don't think he's someone I'm targeting just before. So Baz got a kick added as well, so he's up to 41. Looking at the fantasy up there. Worrell, let's have a look. As Joshy Worrell, what's he done? So he's averaged 80. Yeah, he's only averaged 83. So I just think there's better options. He's got great matchups to come. He's only had 3 tons this year. So I just think unfortunately, there's better options. As much as I love Joshy Worrell, I just think there are better options. Like Hugo Hall-Kahan will be someone I think could actually go all right. Oh, bloody Taezer put Dugoe on the bench with the E. Could be a good pod, but he's never really had a sitting score. Yeah, that's my point, right? I just don't think he's got the ceiling, unfortunately. Even though he could go back to back tons. The not so spud DC now that I have him, says Will. Yeah, exactly. Schultzy, who's the best available option under 812k? There's not much. Philippo's the one that comes to mind straight away. He's my favourite at 752 mid forward. I quite like him. I brought him in last week when I pivoted off of Cherry, which ended up being a good thing. I'm playing Jordox this week, says Tim. Do you check my league, Timbercat, says Tim. Yeah, I have a look at all the leagues throughout the time, Tim, but I can't always keep up week to week. There's so many leagues, it's hard to keep up. But yeah, check it from time to time. I'm looking forward to this actually on Saturday, the Australia v Ireland AFLW game. Looking forward to that. Should be good fun. Be good to see a few of the players out. Especially be good to see Noffy, Zippy Fish as well, who we haven't seen this pre-season. Tell you what, Giants and Port could be an upset. I feel like Port could get the job done there. I don't know if I'll be watching this game, Carlton and Brisbane. I probably will, to be fair. But it's just a no, I won't have Ashcroft. I had Will Ashcroft in my team all week. All week I had Will Ashcroft coming into my side. But with Miller out, wasn't able to. You finished on top of my league, says Tim. Yeah, no, I saw that, which is nice. Bales had a nice round last week, 509 rank. Nicely done, Ben. Congrats. Issue was brought in Baz Williams over Ed Richards. Oh, yeah, that would have been nice. And you're talking about Bailey Williams, obviously from Bulldogs, I'm assuming. Is Wayne Miller worth upgrading? Yeah, I'd trade him out. Yep. Actually, I think Zeitz is going to talk about the outs. Just want to hear if he says about. Really? So they put all the key outs, and Miller's not even on the key outs. That's an absolute joke. Bloody Vic Bias, that one there. And I've said about Ryan Marshall saying that he's been named, so hopefully he gets up and he plays. Making me bloody nervous, them bloody saying that. Well, that's another reason why I didn't end up looping to go on the bench. Because if I was going to loop anyone, it's going to be Ryan Marshall. So I could actually loop Ryan Marshall and Banks. That's what I could do. I'm actually going to do that now while I think of it. Because Marshall plays the same time as Shees. And it won't affect me anyway, because I'm probably likely going to have to take Marshall anyway. But just means that Cozzy, it's not going to be in price order. Cozzy goes ahead of DeGoey. Yeah, Marshall with the E. Oh, no, but technically I can't, right? Because if he scores, doesn't matter when I'm going to use that loop anyway for my VC. So that's fine. But if he scores points, like I can move Brad Hill into my forward line. I think, did Baz get another? I think Baz got another handball added. I reckon Baz up. So Baz up to 43 now. I reckon. So instead of what was he on? Was he on 38? He got a kick added, then a handball. So up to 43 now. So now all of a sudden we got three players in the 40s. DC's on 6. So it's really just DeGoey at the moment that's been pulled with 24. Yeah, DeGoey would have been a nice look with Banks. And I could have had well, the only thing was, though, right, if he scored solidly, I wouldn't be able to get the best score, right, because Hill would be locked out early. But, oh, well, can't think about that too much now. Can't do anything about it. Yeah, Lee, I saw that. Yeah, Baz on 43 now, which is nice. Corey says, can't believe I've been still top for Patreon Cup for a few weeks now. Yeah, nicely done, Corey. Nicely done, mate. You're having a very good year, mate, so congrats. Do you think Cats beat Collingwood? What's your trades now, says Tim? I think the Cats will still hold on, but Collingwood got a little bit of momentum late in that quarter like they did against the Crows, so who knows if they can come back. My trades this week, so I had Newman and Callaghan to deal with, so they both go out. Callaghan went to Darcy Cameron, putting Isaac Rankin into the mids for a week, putting Marshall forward, and then went Newman up to Brad Hill. So how much cash do I have left over? I didn't actually look at that. Like 80k? 50k. So I've got 50k left over from those trades. So we'll see what we can do next week with trades. What were your trades, Bales, and VCC? Yeah, so obviously we'll just the trades there. VCC, so I went Shees VC into Jordan Dawson, captain. That's what I went. V Dynamite, what drink you having, Bales? Mixing some Jack Daniels. No Jack Daniels. Just a glass of juice, to be honest. Just a glass of juice. Looks like OJ. Yeah, I think it's called breakfast juice. I think. Just one's in the fridge, so I just thought I'd have that one. So yeah, not too bad. Goes down all right. Rosa with a super chat. Thank you, mate. We don't have too many super chats on the Watchalong, so very much appreciated. Appreciate that. Sarong and Hulkahan on field, or Impey and Herbert? Ooh, that's a good one. Impey and Herbert, or Sarong and Hulkahan? Oh, geez, that's a 50-50 one. There's no way you could go like Impey and then loop between Hulkahan and Herbert? Probably can't. You probably don't have a red dot that plays late in that game. There you go. DeGoey CB8. So DeGoey's on Baz and Ed Allen's on Tom Atkins, which is very interesting. I don't know if that's just a tactic, but second half's underway. Here's Baz with a kick. So good start for Baz. Baz up to near 50 already, which is nice. Rawls, that's a tough one. Sarong against the Dogs. Impey and Herbert. I like Hulkahan this week. Sarong got the Dogs. I think this week Hulkahan and Sarong score more. So I'm going to go that option just. But I don't mind a play of like Impey and Hulkahan on field against the Bombers. Who knows? Obviously, Hulkahan is named on the extended bench. I think he gets named, but if he didn't, that would make a decision for you. What would you... Actually, I'll ask this in a chat. What would you guys do for Raws there? Would you guys go Sarong and Hulkahan or Impey and Herbert? Because Impey and Herbert's probably the easy one after the last 2 weeks and the way that Herbert went last week. Oh, but then Impey does have a good matchup this week against North Melbourne. There's Josh Dales with a kick. When you look at it, though, obviously Herbert, that was his first score over 80. But he was so good last week, that could be something that happens more. Yeah, well in the chat, what would you guys go for Rawser? Sarong and Hulkahan or Impey and Herbert? A few people saying Impey and Herbert. Lee says Hulkahan and Sarong. I feel like that's actually... Maybe Raw's are thinking about it a bit more. You want probably the ceiling play. And I think that the ceiling play is Impey and Herbert. Because Herbert's got the ceiling of 118. Hulkahan hasn't been gone that high yet. And Impey's been huge the last 2 weeks. And it's down at Pig Park against North Melbourne, who've been giving up points to defenders of late. There's a free intercept mark for Darcy Cameron there. +6. There's a +6 for DeGoey. Or it could be +5. He gets handballed at... No, +6 it'll be. So it's been a decent first minute and a half of this quarter. A few players getting some points. Yeah, maybe here's Nick Dacos with a kick on the left. Yeah, maybe I go Impey and Herbert for the ceiling, Rawser. I reckon I might go there for the ceiling. But I also quite like the other play. It is very line ball. That'd be a good one, actually, Rawser. If you put that in the chat for us tomorrow as well, in our pre-lockout chat, we'll answer that again for you, I reckon. That's a good one to have a discussion about, because that's a really close one for me. Maybe it's Impey Herbert just for the ceiling, but yeah, it's a close one. Can you check my team and add me to your foes? My team name is Nordic Son of Loki Fanier. Bit hard to check, Andrew, just during the stream there, but I might have a look if I get a chance a little bit after. Tim, Cats or Collingwood? I said it before, Tim. I've tipped Geelong. GRB Aquatics, any chance AFL Fantasy turns utility into more of a flex like the other game? More a 23rd player? I think so, yes. Here's DeGoey for another +6. Here we go. Here goes DeGoat. He's getting busy now. He might get it back here, you know. Yeah, here he goes. 9-point play for DeGoey. 15 points already in the quarter. So he's up to 39 already. It's always what you want. There's a tackle for Josh Dacos. Lovely, Josh. So that's a good start this quarter so far. Some players scoring some points, which is good. What we love to see. Here's DeGoey again. Jeez, another kick for DeGoey. DeGoey's just coming like a house on fire in this quarter. It's up to 18 points for the quarter. Here's Josh for a +6 as well. So Josh has had a good start to this quarter as well. He handballs it like he has done all night. So +5, but still. And West all dropped that and ran into the post. It's a good start this quarter. GRB Cottage, I think there's a good chance that could happen at some point. Tanner Bruin with the kick in. Kick short, +6 for Tom Stewart. I think it could happen because of... I think that it was added in as the... wasn't added 23rd because the rule change came a bit late after they built the database and that on the fantasy website. So I just wonder that do they go to the 23rd, particularly with all the injury we've had this year, like if that's going to be something we're going to have a lot more of moving forward. You got the tog threshold, maybe then the flex comes in as well. Possibly. I don't know. I would like to see it in. But maybe does that take away, maybe does it make the game too easy? I don't know. Like, what do people think? That's probably what we've got to think about. Darcy Cameron with a handball. Don't think Nick got any disposal there at all. Is that a free kick against Solbom? Just a bit harsh, that one. Bells, do you do this content production full time? What else do you do? Yeah, I do this full time. I'm at Hungry Jack's for 2 days, but that's only for 5 hours for 2 days. 5 days. 5 hours times 2. So 10 hours for the week. Monday, Tuesday. But I consider this my full-time gig. I earn more from this, so this is technically more of my full-time job. I'd love to make this a full-time thing and just be doing this. So keep growing, hopefully, and we'll hopefully get there at some point. Should be a model, in my opinion, says your boy. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. I've been on Impy for 2 weeks, I think, after this week. He's a 95 to 100 guy, says Ben. Herbert looked elite last week. 36 touches is 36 touches. Let's go DC. He's on 70, says El Song. Yep, he's on 75 now, so obviously very, very nice start to the quarter for him. Jordy to go needs to have a big half. To be honest, I'd love Dempsey on my footy team. Great player. Yeah, he's very, very good. And DC Mark on the line. Does that mean he's up to 75 now with that mark? So Josh does another handball. I think he's on 75 with that mark. I don't think he's on 81. Here's Degoe again. Degoe with a handball. Collingwood started this quarter much better. They've really continued from where they were at the end. Here you go. Schultz at the back. Schultz at the back. Sits for him. Oh, he's fallen over. Chance is gone. Oh, Collingwood still got it. There's Tanner Brun. And no, rushed through from behind. To go getting active, says El Song, very much so. Good start from everyone, says Lee. This is better. El Song, geez, I might bring Dempsey in for their run home. Up to 81. Yeah, he's going well. Did Baz get a +6 there? Definitely got a kick. I don't know if he got the mark there or not. There's Tanner Brun with a handball. Baz could get it here. Oh, Matter, that's poor. Houston with a good tackle, holding the ball. All the best, Bales. Hope you grow and you can get to this proper full-time and get more and more success. Thanks, V Dynamite. Appreciate the kind words there, mate. Very, very much appreciated. Here's Dempsey again. Another kick. Good for those that got him in draft, though. Absolutely smashing it. Tannerburn absolutely screaming for it. No, wasn't called 15, so Tannerburn only got the handball. I feel like everyone gave up on that play, but Polkinghorne just got there in the end. So what are we on? So like Nick's already on. So Nick's on 50. Josh is already up to 57. Das Cameron's on 80. But obviously a few of the guys at the bottom have been able to get some early points, which is nice. Here's Nick. Nick got the kick away. Straight to Dempsey again. So Dempsey, that'll be near the ton now with this one. Absolutely everywhere says also. Yeah, he's on the hot wing for sure. Geez, Polkinghorne nearly held on to that there. And out of bounds. Yeah, it's been a good start for a few players. Obviously, Josh has already started pretty well. He's up to near 60 now. Baz wouldn't be too. Yeah, Baz on 49. Yes, that wasn't paid a mark. It was just a kick from the kick in before. But to go would be near 50 now as well, which is obviously very handy considering he was quiet in the first half. So if he can string together like a 40-point quarter from here, that'd be ideal. Josh being held without it. Yeah, Josh does free kick. So Josh up to 61 now. So a really good quarter so far from Josh. Here's Nick Dacos again with the handball. He's just so good, isn't he? He's just so good. He just finds a way, even with the tag. Here's Houston for a plus. Could be a +12 here. Not just +6. Hands it off to McCreary. Here come Collingwood. He's played on there. He's played on. Oh, geez, he played on. He took a step. And they've been paid. They pay them around the ground as play on. Or not even a step they usually call play on. So a little bit lucky. But if he kicks this, it's back to 22. Scoreboard would be nice, says Skippy the Bush Kangaroo. Sorry, Skippy. Apologies, mate. Sorry you don't have the scoreboard on here. I did try and get the scoreboard on here, but it didn't work, and I haven't had time to fix the scoreboard up. I will have to get a scoreboard up at some point. McCreary, and it's a goal. So another goal for Collingwood. Back to 22 points. We have a game on our hands. We were probably thinking it was starting to go the other way, but... So far this quarter, just to rattle off some numbers so far. So you got Houston's had 22 points already for those that got him that he had a bad start in the first half. Josh Dagos on 22, Darcy Cameron on 21, Jordan DeGoey on 20. So 4 very relevant Collingwood names there already over 20 points for the quarter alone. Nick's had the 8 for the quarter so far. Baz had the 6 with a couple of kicks there. Yeah, so they're all the main guys that people were hoping were getting involved, which is really handy. So obviously Darcy Cameron's up to 81. Him as a VC would have been really, really nice. Would have been nice as well. Look at it and go, well, lock in the VC on a Thursday with a solid score. Humphreys with a kick. Here's Josh Dacos with a kick. You got DeGoey. DeGoey short. DeGoey short. Oh, what are you doing? DeGoey still short. Here's Nick with a kick. Yeah, Collingwood is really starting to get the ascendancy here and lining up Harvey Harrison. If he kicks this back to 16, this is started like they were further away last week, this game than what they were against the Crows, but it was the same sort of thing. Last 5 minutes of the second quarter, Collingwood kicked a couple of goals just to get that confidence going to half time, and they've started much better side in the third quarter. Geelong's been a while since Geelong kicked a goal. Can't remember the last time Geelong kicked a goal. And goal for Harvey Harrison. Back to 16 points. Back, yeah, it's El Song, mate. It is the serious game. We're back to, well, not we're back, so I'm not a Collingwood fan, but the game's back on. For sure. Baz's start tackling and marking has 0 for both. Yeah, Lee, that's the thing that's annoying with Baz, is when he's getting tagged, he doesn't tackle really much. He doesn't mark his way to, you can't mark odds when you're getting tagged, but he doesn't tackle his way to a good score. He can have games where he racks up tackles, right? But it's a little bit similar to, I don't want to compare Baz to LDU, right? But Baz has these games, so LDU has these games where he gets tagged, just doesn't tackle. It's almost like he gives up. I'm not saying Baz has given up, but it's like he just doesn't tackle his way out of a tag. Whereas you look at guys like Bont, Dawson, even Heaney's done it in the past a few times, or he'll kick goals to break a tag. But other players have got avenues to score well, even with a tag. Whereas, I don't know, Baz doesn't drop stinkers, but he also doesn't get himself to a big score when he gets tagged. There's a tackle for Dacos. He's Penny following the ball. So Nick with a +8 coming up here. He's just so good. Just finds a way, Nick. Just finds a way every week. Or I thought Collingwood were in there. That'll be another ball up here. Do you think Jacos gets Murdoch tagged next week? Looking good. Yeah, he does, has for sure. I think he will. Which is, I'm going to have to hold him again. And it's going to be a bad score. So hopefully I've got full prems and I can loop Josh Dacos with, say, one of these guys. The only thing is, though, right, I'd have to bring in a... I could probably do... Oh, no, but yeah, use Josh Dacos with a +6. I'm probably just going to have to cop the Josh Dacos bad score next week. I can't see me bringing in a red dot for it. If anyone recalls, I did say at the start of the game, I thought Josh Dacos was in for a good score tonight. He's had a good recent history against Geelong. There's a tackle for Josh Dacos. So that goes to Collingwood. Will count. Yep. Tackle for Josh Dacos. He's up to 74 now. You could use an API sort of custom scoreboard if API is available. I honestly, I'm not good when it comes to technology, so I don't know what I don't even know what an API is, to be honest. I wouldn't know how to set it up. I'm the sort of person I'd have to go watch a video to go watch how it works. I'm not too good when it comes to to all that sort of stuff. No, Josh up to 78 actually. I didn't think he was going to be up to that, but good camera resting. The clock stopped, says Elsong. Corey says Geelong last goal was 9 minutes in the second quarter. Yeah, I thought it'd been a while since they've scored a goal. Or that's on the ball against Neil. He took it out of the thing and he had an arm free and just drew it. No, Neil, mate, you took it out of the ruck and then you had an arm free and you just held it and you dropped it, unfortunately. So hold the ball. Oh, that is such a dangerous kick. Lucky that came out as well. That was looking like it might have paid holding the ball there. Jeremy Hand not particularly happy that he didn't get pushed in the back there, but got Pies by 9, gaining a little hope back to Star Doors. Well, they've been much better since really halfway through that second quarter. Here's Jack Martin. No, cross the face again. And Isaac Craner, intercept. Not a great kick to go towards Blitzhausen. Harrison's actually gone the free kick. I was going to say, I wouldn't have kicked to Harvey Harrison against him. Degoe's free short. No, didn't kick there to go a bit longer. Degoe looking much better in this quarter now. The fact that he's actually playing a bit more up the ball and he's not just playing forward like he did in the first half. Collingwood's pressure is insane. Like, Myers has got like 3 Collingwood players trying to tackle him. Collingwood's pressure is just cranked right up. This is what they did against the Crows last week. Just suffocated the Crows in the second half. And they're doing it to Geelong at the moment. And they're working their way right back into this game. 7 minutes 20 to go on the clock. Is that a tackle for Nick? If that goes to Collingwood, it will be. Oh, that might still be counting because it went to a bit of a contest there. I'm not sure if they count those or not. I didn't even realize Wiltshire came back on. Here you go. Geelong got a few players here. Yeah, Martin Taezer. Mark. You don't play on there. No, you got to have a shot. So you got what? Cameron's on 81. Obviously been on the bench for a couple of minutes. Josh Dacos is 78. Huge quarter for Josh Dacos. What's that? 35 points? Was he on 43? I think he was on 43 at halftime. So 33-point quarter for Josh. Still plenty of time to go. Nick's working his way to a solid score on 70. Baz is doing horrible, says Lee. Yeah, I wasn't particularly keen on Baz tonight with the Ed Allen tag. Ed Allen, I think it's annoying, right? Because Ed Allen pissed me off no end last week when he tagged Dawson. But Ed Allen's an underrated tagger. He gets the job done. Like, the last guy I think to get off the leash against Ed Allen was Cozzy. But he kicked goals to get to that 110 that Cozzy scored. And Cozzy has got a way sometimes of escaping these tags. But the guys of late haven't been able to escape him. He's on the bench for the past 6 minutes. This thing calls. Yeah, so he'll come back on now. Yeah, there you go. Dust came back on. And I think got that hit out as well. So. I wonder what Degoe's on now. Degoe would be on at least in the 40s. Not tackled there for Degoe because the Geelong player got the handball away. Oh, could be back-to-back goals here for Geelong. Manor. Oh, he fumbled it right at the crucial moment. And Geelong intercept. So Geelong have had a good last 60 seconds. Well, probably close to 2 minutes to be fair. The last couple of minutes they've been better. Just created a few opportunities. We've got 5:43 to go in the third. Keep going, Degoe. Come on, Degoe. If Degoe can somehow get maybe 16 points here, I think Degoe is on 44. he can just find his way, 44. If he can just find a way to get to 60 at three-quarter time, there's a Josh Dales, another tackle for Josh. So he'll be up to 82 now. Dempsey on 100 as well. But yeah, if DeGoey can get himself to 60 at three-quarter time, I think he can get to a solid score. There's a hit out for Darcy Cameron. Baz got the handball just before it went out. It's Tom Stewart with a +6. Tannerbrun got burnt again there. There's Humphreys with a +6. Is that Darcy Cameron? Yeah, another intercept mark for Darcy Cameron. He's so good at doing that. Darcy Cameron, is he going to DeGoey? No. Quainer probably should have handballed to DeGoey there. A little bit more inside. Here's Tannerbrun. Handball. I think Darcy Cameron's still sitting in the hole. Yeah, they've had to go inside. And Jai Clark with a mark. He'll line up for goal. DC just looks so comfortable out there today. Yeah, he's been looking really good the last probably month, to be honest, which has been good. So he's up to 91 now. So yeah, the VC on him would have been really nice. So I feel like he hasn't had that big of a quarter, but he still had a 31-point quarter. I feel like he hasn't he's had a couple of intercept marks, which has been nice, but he's still been able to find his way to a solid score. Well, really good score in the quarter. And obviously being on 91, obviously very nice. I think this is a Josh Dales kicking coming up. Yeah, this will be a kick in for Josh. Yeah, he's played on. He's going towards, no, just over DeGoey's head. Mark O'Connor, that'll be a mark. Come on, DeGoey. So DeGoey started the quarter so well. Like, he had 20 points very, very quickly, but hasn't really touched it since then. Here's Josh with another kick. So Josh has continued. He just keeps getting it at the moment. Here's DeGoey. Can DeGoey take the mark? No, O'Connor again. Another shit kick from, I don't know if it was Puncher there that bloody did that kick, or was it someone else? But whoever it was a shit kick. Again, it's the second time in a row DeGoey should have had a +6, but his teammates have just completely cooked him with a crap kick. So all of a sudden we're looking at DeGoey saving a score, but now it's looking like he's probably still going to end up on an average score. I think we'd take a 7. If he can get to 70 from here, we'd take it. So it's only 26 points from here, so like he could easily still get that. Here's Manor. Got the kick away. I think it's a Jai Clark tackle, that one. Is that a tackle for Josh? Not sure if that'd be a tackle for Josh or not. Remember, here goes Nick Dacos. Oh, Jordan. Oh, no. Nick. Awful kick. Come on. Go DeGoey. Where's DeGoey? Here he is. Go DeGoey. Bloody Jai Clark bloody tackled him. I think it was Jai Clark or Tannerbrun one too. But DeGoey still got the hand. Yeah, it was Tannerbrun. DeGoey still got the handball away. But surprisingly from Nick, that was a bad kick. Normally, Nick makes a good decision there. And DeGoey was actually the free guy that should have been able to hit him, but didn't. Gee, DeGoey here would be huge. DeGoey goal here would be huge. Side bottom +6 coming up. Yeah, DeGoey goal here would be massive if he can somehow get it here. What happened to Baz, says Andrew. Nothing to Baz, just getting tagged. Another hit out for DC. I've paid holding the ball. McStay lining up for goal. And has he got it? Yep, goal for Collingwood. So still back to 17 points. So that goal was, I think, important for Collingwood to get right before three-quarter time. 47 seconds to go. Learn how to fight a tag. Baz needs to take lessons from Nick. Yeah, Nick is so impressive now with fighting tags. Like Mullen, the toughest tag out there, and he still worked his way to 73. 23 disposals, 1 mark, 3 tackles. Obviously, yep, not going to get a lot of those marks on the outside, but he's still been able to get his way to a solid score. But how about bloody Josh Dacos, though? What a quarter. 44-point quarter. Doubled his score in this quarter alone. He's up to 88. And obviously, Darcy Cameron's going along nicely as well. Just need Degoe and Baz to get going and get to some solid scores here to sort of be looking like an okay game. Hit out from DC. Oh, look at that from Nick Dacos. What a clearance from Nick Dacos. But Ed Allen's just completely butchered that. Had to hit up a lead there. Or be much better with your shot. But what a clearance. What a hit out from DC. And what a clearance from Nick Dacos with Mullen right on his tail. I know you only got the handball for that, Nick. But that was a very impressive clearance. And there's another intercept mark for Darcy Cameron. So he's up to, that'll be 99 now. Degoe. Oh. Thought Degoe was, oh geez, that would have been one hell of an end to the court if Degoe could have marked that. Got 3 seconds left. So you can DC with the hit out here. Can he ton up before three-quarter time? No, Mitch Edwards got the hit out there. And that'll be three-quarter time. Like everyone's, hey, Bales, are you nervous for the Crows to face the Bombers this weekend? Nervous in the fact that I don't want them just with a few restings to slip up in a game like this. I still expect them to win, but yeah, Howard injury, a symbol on footy scores. Is he injured? Let me have a look on the AFL. So we'll look at the scores here as well. Yeah, it says Jeremy Howe injured. Went off just before that McStay goal. So I don't know exactly what happened there, but something to watch. But let's have a look at the scores at three-quarter time. So obviously Ollie Dempsey smashing it this game. 110, 2 goals, 25 touches, 8 marks. Going along very well. Darcy Cameron, obviously very nicely done as well. 99 at three-quarter time. He had a 39-point quarter. The big thing was he had 4 marks in that one. So a few intercept marks there as well. Obviously really boosting that score up. So nicely done by DC. Josh Dacos on 88. So he had a 45-point quarter. So I thought he was here 43. So a huge quarter from him with 4 tackles for Josh Dacos. Nick Dacos on 75. So he's on track for the ton, which is good to see. Tom Stewart 79 is going okay as well. Crane on 81 as well. Jai Clark 58. Tanner Bryn 57. Baz on 55. 1 tackle. No marks. That's disappointing from Baz. We know that you can have a 45-point quarter and still ton up from here, but it's disappointing. Who else we got? Manners on 53. It's okay, but you want more. Myers on 50. Yeah, that's bad. 53 and 50 are not good from those two guys. DeGoe's on 46. Like, at least he saved it a little bit in that quarter. But still, you want a little bit more than that. Humphrey's only on 40. Houston only on 38. So there's still a few guys not great. Polking on 26. If you got him covering someone. So, a good quarter from DeGoe with 22. But, obviously, we just want that little bit more to get into the 50s. But at least he's done a bit better that quarter. But yeah, no, good from Josh. Good from Darcy Cameron as well. Darcy Cameron being on 99 now means I really should have gone the VC on Darcy Cameron. Would have been really nice if I'd done that. Because I could enjoy the last quarter and go, yep, cool, VC. But I'm still enjoying anyway. 9-9 at 3/4 time. Pretty happy with that. Obviously, then he goes West Coast next week. Actually, what is there like a... I wonder what the VC percentages and that were for these players. Let me have a look. So Darcy Cameron. So 2% VC, it says on the website. So, yeah, I wonder if many went people with the VC. I love watching Tom Stewart long down the line every time Brun is screamed for. I'm going crazy, Bale says has. Yeah, Brun's been ignored a fair bit tonight. He should be on a bigger score. Hopefully just with the better matchups to come, he can still go okay after this week. Oh. Tell you what, sitting down for 3 hours, watch long, can sometimes make you very stiff far out. One more quarter to go. Oh, actually, the good thing is in a draft league, yeah, I've got Josh Dacos and I put the E on Dan Houston. So in the league, I'm looping Houston, Day, and Manor. And I can take the best score of the three, which is nice. So, and that'll be my utility flex spot that I'll be looping. Actually, McInerney's my red dot, so I'm going to have to probably make the call before Day plays. What's the matchup looking like? Who's he got? Oh, of course. Actually, who am I playing this week? My opponent's got Naz captain. So they've got Pendles and they've got Darcy Cameron on their side as well. Well, it's a bit frustrating. Got Humphries on the bench with the E covering Laird. How am I projected to lose by over 60 points? Oh, because I got a 0. And that's why. Okay, yeah, cool. Did you trade out Josh Dacos? You're asking Has if you did. Hope Degoe and Baz have a good last quarter. Yeah, I hope so, Corey. If Degoe can get a 70 from here, I'll take that, considering he's on 24 at half time. And hopefully Baz can, I don't know, get a 90 or something, get an 80, like, from here. Like, should be able to break tags better than this. Like, I wasn't expecting to go big tonight with the tag, but I didn't expect to go this poorly. Fresh Prince Oz, who scores higher this week between Parker and Holger Hahn? I still back in Parker, but would it shock me if Holger Hahn scored more than Parker? No, because he's got the Bombers and there's no Millerer back there. So, like, Holger Hahn probably got a few extra kick-ins up his sleeve and could score right against the Bombers at Marvel. So, like, yeah. King Colsey said Degoe being Deslowy. Yeah, just I think him being ill during the week as well. He played a lot forward in the first half, then second half went more into the midfield, third quarter went more into the midfield, which is good. So hopefully he can do that in this last quarter. What bobbleheads do you have in the back there, Bales? Dawson and Laird. It should not shock it's Dawson and Laird. So you got those two there. So Baz on Dacos at the first CBA. I think we'd like that in the last quarter. So Ed Allen's on Mullen, that's what's going on there. You got the two taggers on each other. There's a Degoe kick. I think they count that as a kick. There's a Nick Dacos handball. Oh, that's a Degoe. That'll be a Degoe tackle. Free kick for DC. And he got the handball away as well. Here's another handball for Nick Dacos. Probably going to get it back here from Pendles. Yep, kick from Nick. So I don't know if Degoe got that kick. He socked it and it sort of got battered away. I don't know if that should count as a kick, surely. Have a quick look. If it did count, he'd be on like 53 or something, wouldn't he? So it's disgraceful they haven't had the tackle yet, because it's definitely a tackle. Maybe they haven't added the scores yet for this quarter because DC's still on 99 and he should be on 102. There's Tanner Brun with a kick. Okay, DC's on 102. So did they add that kick for De Goey? If they did, he'd be on 53. No, they didn't. And they haven't had the tackle either. That's disgusting. That is a definite tackle from De Goey. He tackled, I think it was Mitch Edwards, and the handball went to Darcy Cameron. So I don't know why they haven't had that tackle. That's disgusting. And they took a handball away from Baz as well. They still haven't had that tackle for De Goey. That is disgraceful. I know that they'll add it because it's an obvious tackle, but it's still pretty disgusting that they don't add it straight away. Like, how can you? What are you watching at that point in time to not add it? V Dynamite traded in Horn Francis for Roma. Yep, like that. Is this a good move? Or are we scared of Giants tag? Got spare, can go to Brad Hill as well or other forwards. But I had JHF before and was reliable all through. If you can get Brad Hill, I'd get Brad Hill instead. I think Brad Hill was a great target this week, so I'd get Brad Hill if you can, V Dynamite. But I still like Horn Francis to target. But if you can get Brad Hill, I'd go there instead. Well, he's gone over 115 in 4 of his last 5 games since Sinclair's been out. So I'd be going there. Yeah, Lee did it last week to Miller. There's Mannett with a kick. Neil should mark that. Yeah, good mark there. Lockie Robbins, the North v Hawks game will be pretty low scoring, so I'm tempted to take Hawk Hunt over Parker. I'm hoping not. Hopefully there's some points flowing with the fact that I went to VC on Shees over DC. Like, yep, I probably should have gone VC on DC instead into Shees, but I thought, no, I'll go VC, Shees, and Dawson. I just have not been able to nail VCs in my own side, VCs and Cs. Like, I put Darcy Cameron in my top 5 this week, so like I'm glad I did do that, but I haven't been able to get my own VCs right. I've missed a few big scores, unfortunately. So let's have a look. Man, champion data can be flogged sometimes. Oh, yeah, more than sometimes. Certainly a lot more. Like, De Goey, so they added the tackle finally for De Goey. So, yeah, so finally they added it. So they didn't add that kick, which I didn't think they would, but I was sort of hopeful. So if De Goey can get a 70 from here, get 20 more points, I think that's fine enough. If he can get an 80 from here, I'd be pretty happy with that in the forward line. Do you think Horn Fronts cops Angwin, who went to Heaney last week, then Jordan the following week? Yeah, I guess that was my little concern with JHF. I'd go Brad Hill over JHF, put it that way. So I still think JHF's a solid option. De Goey got a handball there. Darcy Cameron with a kick. Darcy Cameron with a handball as well. Here's De Goey. Nick Dale's got a handball in there as well. De Goey with a kick. So nice little bit of a few points there in that play. And McStay kicks a goal. So instant reply for Collingwood. Very much needed for them. Lockie Robbins, she's had a 65 at UTAS same last year, Bales, and the surface is way worse this year. I think he got a 65 last year. I'm pretty sure was he injured at one point in that game. I think he had a bit of an ankle concern that game, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Darcy Cameron up to 110. Far out. Why didn't I put the VC on him? The matchup was there. Geelong matchup. Should have just done it. I said that the bloody rucks that aren't named Gawn or Grundy have gone well against Geelong this year. And he's been in great form. I'll still trade him in. I'll take it. But yeah, it would have been nice with a VC. Here's Baz with a kick. And blitz halves. Oh no, free kick to Pendles. Yeah, down there. Where's De Goey? Is De Goey somewhere here? No, there's Jack Crisp. Oh, here's De Goey. +6 for De Goey. De Goey, go for goal. Go for goal, De Goey. You can go for here. You can kick for goal. Yep, good. Go for goal, De Goey. God, this would be huge. This would be well into the 60s if he can kick this. And we could be really on for an 80 if he can kick this here. She's played a lot forward last year at UTAS. Yeah, Cor, I thought there was something up with that game as well. Come on, Degoe. Oh, look at that. Is he... Oh, hasn't made the distance. Oh, it was online. God damn it, thought that was going to go through. He's still making his way to a solid score. He's over 60 though. So he's getting close to even the top page now, considering how bad he was in the first half. And there's still plenty of time. Josh Dacos on as well after starting the quarter on the bench. Why do Geelong insist on having shit rucks, says Rumman? Well, hopefully they get Ryan Marshall next year. That would be ideal. I was so convinced that was going through Stardust. Yeah, I was as well. I was convinced, but yeah. There's Tanner Brun with a handball. Grindmire's kick and Polkinghorn. Why is he all alone in the pocket? Lining up for goal. 16 points. It's been about this margin for a fair while. It's been almost goal for goal the last probably 20 minutes. Just haven't been really... It's been between 16 and 20. It's like John get a goal, Collingwood get one back. Collingwood just haven't quite been able to get it back to within that 10-point margin or around sort of single digits. Can't do nothing right this year, Bale, says Max. Oh, mate, I feel your pain. I really do. I know I've had a better year than most, but I still feel like I haven't been able to do a huge amount right, to be honest. Well, I've got, Miller, bloody Callahan and Newman all out this week, so that's fun. And Polky will kick the goal, by the way, so back to 22 points again. You cannot tell me that every time a guy kicks a goal, they have to go on the bench. Like Polkinghorn sprinting straight off for a rotation. You cannot tell me that after they kick a goal all the time, that it baffles me all the time when it happens. What's the CBA here? McCreary, Dacos and Degoe. I think Baz is on the bench at the moment. Nick with a tackle on Mullen. Good tackle from Dacos as well. And he's rewarded as well. Hold the ball, had an arm free. Mullen did. He got the handball to Josh. Josh with a kick. I feel like Degoe might be free here if they get the kick away. No, that's Harvey Harrison. And Angry lined up for goal. If he kicks this goal, it's just going to be back to 16. It's been like 22 or 16 points for ages. Yes, that's why Mullen got pink, because he had the ball in the arm and it was free. That's why they keep paying that at the moment. And no, that's not gonna make that one. That's going to miss. 1,000% agree. Is there no awareness how athletes get hot or in a groove? Instead, they always rotate them as soon as they score. Yeah, exactly. It baffles me. So +6 for Humphreys, +6 coming up for Tanner Brun. He took the kick in. I don't know if he played on from the kick in, Tanner Brun. But at least he got the +6 there. Well done there from Ned Long. Not a great handball. That'll be a lasso, I think. It went off the boot of Jack Martin. Oh, they're throwing it in. Count for his boot, didn't it? Jordy Boss out of the game. Hopefully his knee's recovering. Here's Baz. First time he's had some free space. The bounce there as well. Kicks inside 50. Nothing there for Henry. Brun didn't step out, kick in. Cardinal Sin. Okay, yeah, so he didn't step out the kick in. At least he got the plus. There's a Josh Dale's +6. At least he got the +6 Tanner Brun earlier. So Josh Dacos. I don't know if that's the ton or if he's on 94 and that added the +6. Out of bounds. So we got just under 13 minutes to go. Looks like Dusty Cameron's on the bench at the moment as well. Go to Goey. Tackle without it. Surely. Surely. Didn't have the ball when he got taken to ground. I don't like the DC Tog here, says Fresh Prince Oz. No, it's been okay. It's still been high 70s, so that's fine for a ruck. He's still on a good score. Can't be not complaining with this. Obviously, it's a VC. Yep, you want him on for as long as possible, and obviously one was gone. I know Fresh Prince Oz, you got him as a VC, so. There's a handball for Josh. Here's Baz. Yep, Baz got the kick away. There's Matt. Is he getting tripped there? Played hole in the ball. I thought he might have almost got tripped there, to be fair, but Houston free kick. Free kick to O'Sullivan. Don't know what happened there. Finally thought they were going to give it to Baz for a +6. Baz still gets the kick, but that hit the ground. Yeah. Yeah, I think it just hit the ground. Did it? Let's have a look. Did he get there? Oh, no, I reckon he might have got that, actually, to be honest. DeGoey got the handball there. I'll take it because DeGoey got the handball after they didn't pay it. But I thought that he might have got that. I originally thought he didn't get it, but maybe he did get it. I guess, though, from first glance, I didn't think he took the mark, so maybe the umpire thought the same and didn't pay it for that reason. Yeah, Mark O'Connor definitely has been playing a bit of a role on DeGoey. Certainly been following him pretty much around the ground after CBAs. If DeGoey's been in the midfield, so it's probably a big reason why. Hasn't been a hard tag, but certainly followed him around the ground a little bit. Pendles, I was going to say, I don't know if he can go for. Oh, he's played on. And, no, missed it. So back to 20 points. It says he. Yeah, Martin's marked that. That's a mark. I reckon. Unless it's hit the ground. No, I reckon he's got it. I reckon it's a mark. They should have paid it. I've had Josh Dacos the whole year and he's been so frustrated, but good to see good score tonight, says Lockie Robbins. Yeah, no, it's been good to see him with a bounce back after a poor one last week. There goes Nick Dacos. Kick forward. Not the best kick, but it might work out. Thoughts on Callahan to Goulden? First force trade last round. Yeah, really like that trade, Andrew. I really like Goulden as an in, so yep, like that trade a lot. So Nick's up to 92 as well. So nearly tonned up Nick Dacos, which is good to see. He's worked very hard tonight. You can see he's definitely known he's up for a big fight against Mullen. He's certainly played quite well. So Baz on Dacos at the moment. Here goes Nick. Good kick to Chris. What a kick on the left. Far out, this guy. He just gets it done. What a kick from Nick Dacos. On the left. Full sprint. Full pace. Look at that. What a clearance. And hits Crisp up. What a kick. What a player. Look at that. Deserves a goal to finish it off. Oh, and Crispy misses it. That is not what that deserved. And Crispy hooked it. Looks like Baz kick in here. And he played on, which is what you meant to do. Might get the handball here. No, Guthrie ignored him. Well, looks like Baz is playing on Dacos at the moment. Looks like they're going head-to-head at the moment. Jai Clark got a handball in there. Ollie Henry's got nothing ahead of him. That is a shocking kick. And I don't know how on earth that has gone through. That is a shocking kick, and it's dribbled its way through. Might be, like, not game just yet, but that's certainly a big goal. John have kicked a couple in a row now. How has that gone through? Ashton Vivian brought Bruin in for Miller, had him for 1 week. Can't wait fantasy to be over. Mate, I'm looking forward to AFLW now. Bring that on. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, that is a shank of a kick, and it's rolled through. That is an absolute sack of a kick, and it's rolled through. How has it done that? I'm off to cook dinner, having steak sandwich, says Andrew. Nicely done, mate. Go enjoy. Josh Davis into midfield. Haven't seen this for a while. Oh, look at that. And Josh Davis gets a clearance. Straight away. Why does he not get more midfield time? I don't understand. He's had a good night, so it doesn't matter like tonight, right? But I don't understand why he isn't playing more midfield. Like, after the quarter he had against Gold Coast last year, I thought that was going to be the start of something for him in the midfield to go off. Yeah, that would be, like, he's having his rest, right? But still, like, Josh Dagos should be in the midfield a lot more. Was Baz in your top 5 captains at Ashton? No, he wasn't even in my top 10. I didn't have Baz or Dacos in my top 10. I didn't like the Ed Allen tag, and I didn't like obviously the Mullen tag. So that'll be a Baz tackle there as well. Yeah, I didn't like either, to be honest. So Ed Allen's got a free kick. Don't know what that was exactly what happened there, but Harrison, geez, that's gone like 12 metres, I reckon, that kick. Oh, Harrison, mate, you had Nick Dacos running by for a handball, and he had no one on him. That's a cardinal sin. Cannot be ignoring Nick Dacos in that scenario. Like, Baz is on him now, but he was free when he ran past him, and he's missed. Unfortunately, Collingwood have shot themselves in the foot tonight. Their start that they had was very, very poor, being down by essentially 40 points. And then they've just missed 3 or 4 chances the last sort of 5 or so minutes to really get them back in the game. Darcy Cameron? No, he got blocked out there. Not going to pay the mark to Frampton. Oh, Schultz, can you get the shot away? No, tackled. Here's Josh Dacos. No, missed it. Just don't know why he doesn't play more midfield. Like, he looks good every time he plays. I can't remember the last time he played midfield and he looked bad. Every time he's been in there, he looks like he's a threat. And we all say, I think 2 Dacoses are better than 1. Put it that way in the midfield. So I think they should be using that a lot more moving forward in future years. There's Baz that is on the ball. Did Baz get pinged? Yeah, Baz got pinged. God damn it. McStay, oh, good mark. Oh, no, they count as a drop. Doesn't matter. Charlie West kicks go on anyway. No, they paid the mark. So no advantage from a mark, unfortunately. Lockie Romans, Collingwood should swap Josh Davis and Pendle. Sometimes they would have to rest penalties every second week. That way, either as you could rest a halfback. Yeah, exactly. Do you like Brad Hill as an option as a VC? Yep, yeah, I do. Yeah, I don't mind Brad Hill as a bit of a VC, bit of a unique option. 115 in 4 of his last 5 games. I had him at number 8 this week. Sydney are okay matchup. 9th best for rebound defenders on the season. 5th best last 5. So give up some points. I don't mind it. It's a bit of a unique VC. So for sure you could look at that. Looks like Dego's going to come back on now for the final 6 minutes 46. But yeah, I don't mind it. Ashton. I like Brad Hills. If you want to go a bit unique, he plays at the same time as Shees, which is a little bit unfortunate. But if you want to go a bit different this week and you go Dawson captain or something like that, then yeah, for sure. So what happened to... So Jeremy Howe got injured when Jai Clark jumped on top of him. Looks like a wrist injury, maybe? Looks like he's holding his wrist or his arm. Nick Dacos with a handball there. Manor got the kick away. I didn't actually check if who was in the CBF combo. I know it was Dacos and Allen, but was it DeGoey or... Manor got another handball there. Wiltshire. It's a good goal, that one. See what I mean? Collingwood get a goal and Geelong just get one right back. So they just haven't really been able to string multiple goals together to really get back in the game. McStay having a game, says Fresh Prince Oz. Yeah, he's playing all right tonight. What's he on? He's on obviously 106, but what's he got? Yeah, 4 goals. Yeah, 9 tackles. 3 marks, so he's had a good game. Good for those that got him in draft. Who would you trade? Marshall 2. I like Wilson or Sparrow. I like Sparrow out of those 2. Wilson's been great for a while, but I do like Sparrow. Been quite underrated. Was Ed Allen, I believe, in CBA last one. Yeah, I know he and Nick Dacos. Well, I didn't know the third guy was. Was it DeGoey or was it Josh Dacos? But yeah, no, Sparrow I like Ashton as a trade-in. So it was Josh, because Josh is in there again, and Josh is going to get the clearance. So look, see what I mean? He's been there for 3 CBAs. He's got 2 clearances. So I sometimes wonder why they don't play him more. There's Humphreys with a +6. I wonder if Geelong start getting a few of these marks going, which would mean that these Collingwood guys are going to slow right down. Here's Baz with a kick going forward. And Martin Shanil. Yep, line up for goal. Third was Josh. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. Josh had a good night, though. 109 for Josh. Nick Dacos on 97. So hopefully Nick can get one more disposal to get that ton. What do we got? So, like, Baz is... So, Bruns 74. So, Baz only 69 with 26 touches. No marks, 1 tackle. So, yeah, DeGoey would be on 63 as well. So, a couple of lower scores there in DeGoey and Baz. Hopefully they can get some points to finish the game here. And missed it. So Houston with a kick in. I just felt Josh Dars should play more mid, because I don't need him as much in the mids, because like up halfback. So because they got guys like Houston. Baz got 2 handballs in there as well. Polkinghorn with the mark. So it's ruining all our points. With Geelong getting all these set shots, just means we're not getting any points from these players. And Polkinghorn with another goal. So that's game over, that one now. And again, it comes back to Collingwood start. Yeah, so yeah, it's back at the 31 points. That's game over. It just comes back to Collingwood start again, right? As they conceded, like, it was like, 1 goal to 9, I think, at one point. So we're down by like 8 goals. I think it was 1 goal to 9. Pretty sure it was somewhere like that anyway. But they're the better team, much more better in the third quarter, and second half of the second, but Geelong have been better probably for most of the night, you'd probably say. So as long as we beat Essendon, we'll still be above Geelong. I just worry that Geelong will go above us because they've got an easy run home. So yeah, Geelong will go. So actually, yeah. So funny enough, as a Crows fan, I probably wanted Collingwood to win this game because we won't. I don't think we'll beat Freo in round 23. So if we win our other 3 games, we'd still go behind Geelong. No, we wouldn't. No, we'd have to catch up percentage on Geelong. Okay, no, never mind. Never mind what I said. What did you do with Miller? Says Ashton. I had to hold because I had Newman and Callaghan out. So it just meant I was originally going to hold Newman for the week because I wanted Will Ashcroft. I was just going to play Hall Carnonfield and trade Romar, but I've just had to keep. I've just had to trade Newman out along with Callaghan. So there's a Nick Handball. So that's a 99. Houston with a kick. Is to go forward at the moment? No, there's to go there. Are you taking DC score, says Ashton? We'll see what he does in the final 3.5 minutes. At this stage, I probably would be leaning to taking it, yes. So not that. I don't think that was a handball for Nick, so... And Mitch Edwards' mark. This is not good. Stop having set shots, Geelong, for God's sake. Like, it's just set shot after set shot, and it's just time waste after time waste. It's so annoying. Very infuriating, as we all want points scored, and they're just having set shot after set shot. Do go in Baz Vomit, says Lee. Darcy Wilson's starting pick I was regretting, but now he's doing well. Yeah, and he's been a good pick if you started with him. Do you have to go? He says, Harry. Yes, I do. Why does Pokemon have to go off 3 times in the quarter, says Finn Quarter? He's gone 3 times off in the quarter. That is a shocking kick from Mitch Edwards. Josh starts with a kick in, so this will be the 110, which is nice as long as he plays on. So you're going to go short to Nick. Yep. Here we go. Nick Dacos, short mark. Yep. Get the handball to Josh. Yep. Cool. Beautiful. So Nick's got to the ton. There's DC with a handball. There's Nick getting away. Houston got the handball there. Oh, nearly a tackle for Dego. I think Dego's just going to get the 60, I think, in the end. Don't think he's going to get the ton. Oh, sorry, not the ton. He's never going to ton up from where he was, but meant 80. Here we go. Another set shot's going to come up here. No, Dempsey played on, and that's shocking from Dempsey. Only blemish he's made all night. He should have taken the time. He was 50 out. He could have said that he's going for goal. Would have wasted, from a Geelong point of view, another 30 seconds. But I'm happy he didn't, so we can get some more points these last few minutes. DC. DC caught one across the face then. There's Nick Dacos with a handball, trying to go to Josh. Didn't get to him. McCreary. I was hoping he'd go board to DeGoey. McState, another mark. Lined up for goal. Yeah, it looks like DC caught one in the eye then. So 50 seconds to go. Why did the AFL give Geelong such an easy run home? Did exactly the same thing last year, Lockie Robbins. Yeah, no, literally the exact same thing last year. They pretty much almost had identical fixtures to last year. So he missed from... Oh, no, mistake kicked. I thought he missed it the way he reacted then. I know you're not going to get excited from a goal when you're down, but it looked like he missed it. Wish I traded Josh in, but went Bruin instead. I know Josh had a good score tonight, but he's got Murdoch next week with the tag, so I'm a bit worried about that one. Do you take a DC 115 or roll into Dawson? Oh, it's right in this borderline of like, do you take it or you don't? I'm probably taking it with the risk that Dawson gets rested late in the last quarter. So I'd probably take it. Wasted my VC on Baz. Who's a safe captain? She's, Lockie. She's is the safest captain. So I wonder, did that flick the post? No, they've just played it. So there's DC with a kick. So that's a 120. So if people are like looking at that, I think you take the 120. I think that pretty much signifies, yeah, if you take it or not, you take the 120. Nice that he got that kick to get that 120 as well. I genuinely can't believe how bad Baz has been. Not one mark. Yeah, it's been disappointing. He hasn't been able to get that mark. Houston with a handball. There's Josh Dacos, got the handball, just got it away. And that will be game over. So Geelong by 25 points in that one. A few people out there would have probably got the margin. 25 is normally a common margin. A few people go by every now and again. Under 120 for DC isn't that damaging for us non-owners, all things considering. Yeah, 120 is a good score if you brought him in this week. It's not like too bad if you didn't trade him in. I'm fine, obviously, trading him in and not VCing. But, yeah, pretty happy with that on a debut from DC with getting a 120. So that's twice I've brought DC in this year and twice I've got a 120 from him. So maybe I've got to trade him in every week. Maybe I've got to trade him out in one trade and bring him back in the other trade. Then I might get an average of 120. Might be the best player in the comp. Schultz Singh Matilda is my AFL fantasy name. How you like it? It's a good one, Space. I like that one. Schultz Singh Matilda. Yep. No, I like that one. Good one. I like that. Nicely done, Space. I've never been creative when it comes to names of team stuff. I've had Bales Nails for ages. And I think I'd Bailey... Wanted to have... Was it Bailey United or whatever I think it was called? It was just some generic, bloody boring name. I've never been creative when it comes to stuff like that. But no, I like that one, Space. Nicely done. But yeah, there it is. Another Thursday night game. Bit of mixed bag in that one, I think, in this game tonight. So we'll go through the scores now. So what do we got? We got Dempsey 125. If you had him, you'd be pretty happy. Darcy Cameron, bit of a quiet last quarter, to be fair, with the 21-point quarter, but 120, you take that, you're pretty happy. And I think you got him VC, I think you banked that as well with the 120 in a week like this. McStay 118, good for those draft coaches. Josh Dales with a 117, very nice indeed from him. So he had a 29-point last quarter. So he had, what was that, 29? So he had a 74-point half, Josh Dagos, to finish the game, which is very nice. Nick got 109 in the end, so really happy with that, considering he got the Mullen tag. Good to see that. So then Warple 94, Stewart 93, Brun 83, yeah, Baz 73. That's bad. That's disgusting. No marks, one tackle. As the ball boys would say, that's camel-like behaviour, that one. I know I got tagged, but still. Houston 66, Manor 65. Geez, that's disgusting. I had both emergency and draft, wanting one of them just to pop a decent score. And neither did it. So it looks like I'm playing Will Day in that league then. To go 63, yeah, that's not good. My 62. So a few of these forwards went in the 60s. Would have been awesome to have looked at looping to Goey, and I wouldn't have taken that score and had that as cover for someone. Put Brad Hill in the forward line and played Hawk and Banks on field. But oh well. Humphrey 60, bad score as well. Polky on 52. As a rookie, good for cash gen, but hopefully you got him on. But no one's got him on field, and that's it. So most players did okay. Baz and Degoe, the big disappointments, along with maybe Houston. If you got like a Myers or a Manor there, like Bruin 83 is okay. Probably want a tiny bit more. Tom Stewart's actually been a decent enough pick, couple of 90s. Just not a huge amount of ceiling on him at the moment, but yeah, there we go. LS98G says the game's still going. No, just finished a couple minutes ago. Geelong by 25 points. DJ said game finished, yeah. So, game's all done. So, I'm going to head off in a couple of minutes because I've had a big couple of days with recordings and everything like that. Recorded what was it? Four things yesterday? Had Hat Chat Live. Always love going on Hat Chat Live whenever I get a chance to. Captains, Patreon Q&A, and Patreon Cup update. And then obviously they recorded the AFLW pod with Tom, so that'll be out tomorrow. Anyone looking for that, record their value players pod. That'll be out tomorrow. Probably about a few hours before we go live. Probably 3 p.m. Eastern, probably when that'll drop. Not gonna lie, kind of happy. Baz 73. I'll take Darcy Cameron VC, says Ben. Nicely done with the DC VC. Baz 73. It's frustrating. It's like he's in terms of ownership, he's pretty highly owned, I think. So Baz ownership, 93%, well essentially 94% top 1%, then 93% top 5, or 92% top 5%. So he's pretty much owned by everyone. It's just frustrating that he put a lower score. It was just good for Josh Dagos, right? Josh Dagos had 4 scores under a ton in his last 3 scores under a ton in his last 4. So good to see him ton up there. His last 3 tons have been 120, 144, 117. So he's actually tonned up pretty big of late. It's just now he goes into Milan Murdoch at Optus, which is a bit scary. So I'll be looping him with one of those defenders. Nick 109 was obviously good. And Darcy Cameron 120. So like Darcy Cameron, so that's now 3 scores over 120 in his last 4. So just absolutely getting it done. And he goes into West Coast, good matchup. And then Hawthorn, Brisbane to finish. A bit trickier, but there's not really any other rucks at the moment that are smashing it. So he goes up 59k, Darcy Cameron, this week. So, and then Degoe, 63, disappointing. So he's, again, still owned by 77.5%, but top 1%, 72%, top 5%. So a few people don't have Degoe, but yeah. Sobals, don't know if you already answered any AFLW team reveals coming out soon. Yes, we do. We actually mentioned that on the pod we recorded today. So me and Tom will do our team reviews next week. I'll do a video for mine, just me recording it. Then I'll get Tom on and we'll record a team review for him. Team reveal, sorry, for him. So, which would be good. Good to get our teams out and see what we're working with. Nice because I haven't owned him and he's burnt me not owning. I'm assuming you're talking about Darcy Cameron there, Ben. Ben Bales, do you have a feeling Washcroft underperforms versus Carlton? I've got a weird feeling he doesn't go well. Oh, Walshy does underperforms versus Lions. I've got a weird feeling he doesn't go well. He went okay against Brisbane last time they played the game. I think he had like a 9. I'd probably expect anywhere from a 95 to a 105 for Walshy most weeks. Last time he played Brisbane, scored 98. That was up at the Gabba, 31 touches. I could still see that happening again. I think Cripps gets the attention. Like, in a year where he's only averaged 99, he's tonned up in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of his 19 games he's tonned up. And he's had a further 1, 2, 3, 4 scores, 96 to 99. So, like, if you're telling me 14 of 19 games he's gone over 96, it's pretty good. It's just he hasn't had many seeing scores, right? 116, 114, 135 is only 3 scores over 110. So I think he still goes okay, but yeah, Brisbane's a tough matchup, so probably not expecting a huge amount. I'm not expecting a 120 or anything like that. But to be honest, if there's ever a matchup he's going to go big in, it's probably this one, because his biggest score of the year was against Freo of all teams with a 135. So, and is it Marvel, which helps. So Bruno got 83. Is that okay, says Tim? Yeah, it's okay. It's not. You probably wanted a tiny bit more, but it's okay. I have a ton of Saints players versus Sydney, which is crazy. Yeah, I've got a few as well, actually. How many have I got in that game? So got Naz, got Brad Hill, Goulden, Filippo, Marshall. So I've got 5 in that game. Plus I've got Shees, LDU at that exact same time as well tomorrow. Not tomorrow, on Saturday. I'm hoping LDU can pop a score. Hawthorn at UTAS into the Bulldogs at Marvel. I'm hoping that's 2 nice matchups. Then I do want LDU gone, worst case, by by that time because he goes into Geelong, then Sydney. That's probably 2 tags back to back. Actually, so my league in with Jake. So Jake, hang on. Ooh, so Jake didn't. Oh no, Jake was looping Josh Dacos. Got a bit excited then. So we both had Josh Dacos, both had Dacos, both had Baz. Ooh, so he didn't have Darcy Cameron, but he didn't have DeGoey. So he got the leg up with DeGoey, but I got Darcy Cameron there. So yeah, DeGoey's been a good pick this year, but he hasn't turned up since round 16 against Richmond. So Gold Coast 62, North Melbourne 98, Carlton 96, Adelaide 91, Geelong 63. So he's got a couple of 60s, but 3 90s. So he's no issue, and I think the sickness probably played a little bit of a part in why he was so poor today. But yeah. Do I trade Reid before Petrarca? Do I get Whitfield or Zorko next week? Probably Whitfield next week, Tim, and then trading Reid or Petrarca, toss a coin. Because I think Petrarca bounce back. Probably Petrarca. Petrarca can go because he's probably been more frustrating. So you can trade him. Ben, I like Goulden as an in, to be honest, because they need to put time into his legs. Yep. I've been on Goulden for a number of weeks, as people know. Brought him in first week back. So I actually think, I'm going to look, I didn't tally this up yet. I'm going to look at this now. So the 3 guys I was tossing up was Isaac Heaney, Errol Goulden, and Noah Anderson in round 16. What have they averaged since then? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well, I can just check, right? So Goulden's last 5, he's averaged 97.8. What's Heaney's last 5 average? 98.6, so I barely lost anything there. And what's Anderson's average in his last 5? 98.6. So after all the complaining I did about Errol in those matchups, because of that big score last week and having him, I haven't lost any points. What's that? I just want it, so just go 97.8 times 5. So 489 points Goulden's got. I just want to what's it? So Anderson, so 98.6. So 489. Let me just I just want to tie this up. So I've lost 4 points from having going Goulden over Anderson. Oh, hang on. So wait, 98.6, I think, for both. Yeah. So I've lost 4 points going Errol over Heaney and Anderson. And I then did, and I got Errol in now. I don't have to worry about getting him in. So actually, to be honest, actually hasn't turned out too bad. Even still with that. So Heaney was easy ton last week, bench for the last 15 minutes. Yeah, and I think he gets tagged this week by Winhager. Ashton, what's a good score to take for a VC? Feel like Hill could go 120 plus Saturday. This week, Ashton, I'm taking 110, I think. Probably 115, just because of the fact that there's just not a lot of options I love. Like, Dawson's at number 1, but he could get rested towards the end of the game. I got Shees at 2, who I like, who's pretty good. Could go 115, 120 again. I got Ashcroft at 3, just because of how good a form he's been in. Rankin at 4, DC at 5. So Brad Hill, Ashcroft were the pick. Last 5 of 125 each. Yeah, and trading Hill in this week. Watch him go sub 70. Yeah, you're probably right, to be fair. I hope not, because I got him in. If he can go well along with DC, I'm happy with trades. But like the big mistake I made was going Baz to LDU in round 15 when I did that. I could have just held Baz, played Hulkahan, or just taken the one less score that week in round 15. And then instead of getting Baz in a few weeks ago, I would have got Will Ashcroft in. So, yeah. But then again, you could say, well, I should have gone Will Ashcroft over Errol, right? But I don't think I was considering Will Ashcroft at that point. But yeah. He did well v Windy early in the year, says Ben. He just hasn't been in good form lately, though, so that's probably why I think, with the tag, I think he goes a bit low. But I like Heaney as a target from next week, so like he might be the guy I'm bringing in next week as I don't know if I'm going to be able to get Will Ashcroft in. I'm probably only going to own Will Ashcroft for only 2 weeks this year, which is going to really piss me off because I wanted him for a little bit, but haven't been able to get him in with these forced trades. Alrighty, well, we're pretty much at the 3 hours mark, which is normally what we get to on the Watchalong. So I'm probably going to head off. Just as I said, a lot of recording last few days, which I think it will be like this for a few weeks with the AFLW kicking off next Sunday. And obviously we've got the international game, Australia v Ireland on Saturday, which I'm looking forward to. But obviously we'll be live tomorrow, usual time, 6 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Perth time, answering more of your questions. So make sure you guys do tune in over there. That'll be good fun as we build towards Friday night footy. But it will be only a 45-minute one because I'm going out for dinner and watching the footy at the same time tomorrow night. So will be a slightly shorter one, but still be live. Sarong 120 plus tomorrow, please, says Ashton. Hopefully it goes well. Yep, hopefully it goes well for anyone's got Sarong out there. See you then, Bales. Thanks, Haz. Appreciate it, mate. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in as always. As always, make sure you smash like on the video. Be very much appreciated. Subscribe as well if you have not already. Where are we up to? We're slowly creeping up towards 4,900, and obviously we're trying to get to 5K. Yeah, so we're up to 4879. So we've got 121 subscribers away from 5K. Can we get there by the end of the AFLW season? By the end of the full season, can we get to 5K by that time? Let's see if we can get there. That would be interesting. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do like as well. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow for our pre-lockout chat. So thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining the Watchalong as always. We're back next week. We'll do another one next week. There's no F1. There's no other clashes coming in. So, yeah, we'll be doing another one next week. So I'm at Thursday night watching the new Spider-Man movie, which will be really, really good. Couldn't go this week. So we'll do one for, I was going to say next Friday, right? But if I don't bring Ashcroft in, do I really want to do a watch-along for that game? Hopefully we could do one for next Friday night, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So I'll be at the Crows game. We could do one for St Kilda Carlton, that final game of the round being a night game. We'll see. We might do one next week. We'll see how we go. And then we'll do one probably the Saturday night following, which will be the Hawthorn, Collingwood, or Port Adelaide and Melbourne, probably the Collingwood Hawthorn game. So we'll see how we go. But thanks everyone for tuning in. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow for our pre-lockout chat. So thanks everyone. See ya.